The Texans beat the Jags 24-20. It was a showdown that turned out to be a shambles because Randy Moss made it one. 3 touchdown catches, 8 in all, as he and the Vikings just slice and dice the Niners and Terrell Owens 35-7. The Eagles get off the schneid. Donovan McNabb, an opening touchdown drive, and then they ran the ball well, including him, as the Eagles win at Buffalo 23-13. And this is John Kitna's bomb that we talked about to Chad Johnson against the Cleveland Browns. Kitna again giving Marvin Lewis and the Bengals their first win of the year. Our primetime performance, I guess.
My game ball is going to go to Randy Moss. And a close second was Gus Farad, but Randy Moss took charge of this football game. The 8 receptions, the 172 yards, the 3 touchdowns, and he had another long one. Call back, boom.
Well, and yes, he did. My game ball, we just talked about it. Very few coaches do this. Go for it and eschew the easy field goal and go to overtime. As a result, Dom Capers and the Texans are 2-2 and are excited. Now, look, this is not breaking any new ground, all right?
Right.
But we've done this show a lot. And it doesn't often break down like this. There were 12 games played. 6 of them, winning team, no turnovers. 4 of them, 1 turnover. Hold on to the ball.
Offense is finally coming around after a month.
That was fun. Should we do it in October, too?
Yes, we will.
For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Prime Time. We have Sunday Night Football in New Orleans. The undefeated Colts against the Saints, looking to get back on track.
For years, 3 horses on offense have carried the Colts. But under Coach Tony Dungy, there's a new blueprint for success.
Get to know us. If you believe in the system, speed, good things are going to happen.
And I would stand there,
Focused,
big and brave,
confident,
and quietly say, play for me. Play for me.
Coach Dungy's blueprint for defense is execution, expectation.
No excuses.
No explanations. He has a certain way to get us fired up. Seems like everything he says explosive is going to happen. Defense in the past, slow.
People scored on us at will.
Struggled a lot.
Present.
Attacking. Ease. Swarming around somebody's head.
Right now.
Dominated.
Bud, talk of the town. Future.
A championship defense. Legendary. Can get us a ring.
We are the future.
To future. Everything predicates on speed,
Just getting crunk.
reaction to the ball, and having confidence. We trust each other. We're a lot more emotional.
You come out
powerful.
into the game, you know, you want to get crunk.
What is that crunk? That is horrible.
You want to get hyped. We're tired of being pushed around. Now it's time for us to push back.
You may not know who we are.
But after tonight, you will.
Play for me. 1, 2, 3, play for me.
Tonight, we will play.
Tonight, that defense will be tested by the talents of Aaron Brooks and his Pro Bowl teammates Deuce McAllister and Joe Horn, who led the NFL's #3 scoring offense a year ago. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. The Saints come into this game struggling at 1-2 with 5 defensive starters injured and out, most of them for several more weeks. Jim Haslett admits they're not hitting on all cylinders yet, but says they will. He still likes this ball club. The Colts are 3-0. Tony Dungy says the only thing that means right now, we won't finish 2-14. And you know what? He's right. Last year, 6 teams started 3-0, and only one of them made the playoffs. But this is a different Colts defense. It's no longer an open highway to the other end zone. In fact, they are giving up less than 9 points a game. And, Joe, that hasn't happened since 1971. My Lord, you were still at Notre Dame.
I know. I hardly remember back that long, Michael. Tony Dungy is finally putting his stamp on this football team. When's the last time the Colts won a football game and didn't score a touchdown? When's the last time the Colts won a football game and Peyton Manning did not throw a touchdown pass? The last 3 games, it's happened. It's happened in those ball games. The Colts are starting to look like an entire, complete football team, and it's because their defense has risen to the occasion. For the Saints, it's a different story. One guy has to raise up tonight, and that's Deuce McAllister. Last week, 11 carries, 8 yards. 8 yards for Deuce McAllister. That's unsatisfactory for the Saints. Everything starts with the running game. If Deuce McAllister can get his 100 yards tonight, then the big plays become a part of this football game for the Saints, and they've got nothing but big play people on that side of the ball, Mike.
All right, thanks, Joe. And Deuce certainly an explosive player. When you take a look at the rosters for both of these ball clubs, Paul, that's all we have. One explosive player after another.
Yeah, there are 2 home run hitters in this ball game, and for the Colts, it's Marvin Harrison. He is the only player in the National Football League to catch over 100 balls 4 years in a row. And if you're going to cover Marvin Harrison, you better cover him with 2 people or you're beat. On the other side of New Orleans, it's Joe Horn. Joe Horn was a 5th-round draft pick of the Kansas City Chiefs, and he sat in obscurity for 4 years. Then he finally came to New Orleans, and for the first 3 years in New Orleans, he went to the Pro Bowl. You better double cover this guy also. You know something, Michael? I think both of these guys tonight will catch a touchdown.
All right, thank you, Paul. Joe Horn, animated as always and wired for Sunday night.
Right here, let's ride. Let's ride. Oh, we coming. Let me tell you something, homeboy. Let me tell you something about that secondary over there. They want to be good. Oh, yeah. To the window, to the wall.
On October 7th, the king of all animated films becomes the king of DVDs. The one, the only, The Lion King Special Edition 2-disc Disney DVD for the first time ever, October 7th.
With the never-ending pasta bowl, whatever you choose, it's like getting a strike every time you bowl.
It's never-ending pasta bowling. Too far.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl, just $7.95. Pick one combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Have all you want.
This is unbelievable.
Smooth Reese's peanut butter, creamy milk chocolate. Get lost in a Reese's.
Are you up for a challenge? Then log on to ESPN.com, keyword Porsche, and take the Porsche Performance Challenge. You could win a trip to Houston to celebrate the big game and have lunch with a football legend. Welcome back to the Superdome in New Orleans for the Colts and the Saints. Visa presents ESPN Skycam, innovative technology on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Skycam provides some of the most unique and memorable images ever seen from angles no other single camera in the world can achieve. We are excited to bring it to you every Sunday night. The Superdome has always been a tough place to play. No one understands that better than Peyton Manning, because for him, Susie, tonight is homecoming.
That's right. Peyton has experienced the Dome Patrol at its craziest, but he understands that the only time the folks here are nice to him is in the off-season. This is where his dad, Archie Manning, made his career. 11 seasons with the Saints, he still holds the team's all-time passing records. And this is where the dream began for little Peyton, and where he realized how hard he'd have to work to achieve it. He was never the biggest or the fastest, but it forced a work ethic that is still unmatched today. Peyton's memories are strong and cherished.
I can't remember specific games when my dad was playing, but what I remember is going down to the locker room after games, going onto the field after the games, and playing one-on-one 100-yard football with my brother Cooper with a ball of tape. That was kind of our football. And my dad would come out and get us, and we'd go home. And then got to play in the Dome in high school for a few games, and then grew up watching the Saints for all those years. And so anytime you get to come back and play in that stadium or Dome where all your heroes played at the same time, it's special.
It's also an opportunity to say thanks. Peyton gave 30 tickets to the maintenance staff at his old high school. You see, while he was home visiting the folks in the offseason, he used that facility to train, and it was such odd hours, they were the only people around. So, Mike, it's homecoming for Peyton, but the Saints want to spoil the party.
All right, Susie, thanks very much. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this. Archie's here, too.
You'll debate architecture, neighborhoods, and floor plans. But when it comes to your loan, you'll instantly agree on our best price guarantee. Introducing mortgages from Charles Schwab Bank, where we guarantee the best price on your new mortgage or refinancing, or we'll pay you $500. Terms and conditions apply. Call 1-866-7-SCHWAB to speak with a loan consultant to learn more about our best price guarantee.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Tony Dungy seems to work magic wherever he goes. Second in the NFL in points allowed this year. His former defense, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, lead the NFL. Jim Haslett now in his 4th year. He has actually done better on the road than he has at home. He hopes to improve on that 11-14 mark tonight. He'll have to do it without 5 starters on defense.
You know, it's kind of funny talking to Haslett. You mentioned the 5 guys, Joe, that are on defense that aren't starting. He said, yeah, so what? We still have to play.
Well, you know, but coaches don't like to use that as an excuse, but you have starters and you have backups for a reason. When you're missing 5 of them, it makes it tough to do the things you want to do.
Michael Lewis, the all-pro from a year ago, the return man who set an NFL record for combined yards on kickoffs and punts, is deep to receive Vanderjagt's opening kick. We're underway from the dome. Lewis from the 9. And cut down shy of the 20. The Saints offense has struggled, and LaCharles Bentley did too, especially last week, but the second-year guard has unlimited potential. Joe Horn shooting for his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl. He's coming off the best 3 years for a wide receiver in club history. The ground game has to get better. Deuce McAllister led the NFC in rushing a year ago. Last week, he only carried the ball 11 times. They think they'll correct that tonight.
Yeah, but he only got 8 yards.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he only carried 11 times. Terrell Smith, the blocking back in front of Deuce McAllister. Deuce, first play, hit in the backfield by a swarming Colts defense. That surprising Colts defense counts on pressure from the outside from Dwight Freeney. He had a team record 13 sacks as a rookie. The playmaker on defense, weak side linebacker David Thornton. In his first year as a starter, he's the team's leading tackler. And Nick Harper is a full-time starter for the first time in his career, coming into the weekend tied for the NFL lead in interceptions. 3 wide receivers on the field as Dante Stallworth comes in for the Saints. Brooks out of the shotgun, throws behind, tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jim Nelson, the nickel linebacker. And that finally opportunistic Colts defense gets the first big break of the game.
I'll tell you what's the amazing thing. When we sat down with the defensive guys yesterday talking to them, Joseph, they are the most calm guys you ever want to see. They're 3-0. You think they'd be uptight. They're really not used to winning, and here they are. Look what they do the first play.
Well, this ball gets tipped in the air. It's actually thrown behind Dante Stallworth, who's had some problems catching the football. But the one thing you notice is that they're always around the football. That has been the trademark of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's now the trademark becoming of the Indianapolis Colts defense.
David Macklin got a hand on it, tipped it up in the air, and the Colts start from the 23-yard line of the New Orleans Saints. Ricky Williams is the running back because Edgerrin James' back is too sore for him to play. The other Ricky Williams gets maybe a yard. For the Colts up front, Tarek Glenn is starting his 100th straight game now in his 7th year. He has not missed a single snap. All-Pro Marvin Harrison is off to a slow start, but you know that won't last. The first receiver ever with at least 100 catches for 4 straight years. And Peyton Manning's numbers are staggering too. 4 straight seasons with over 4,000 yards passing. Only Dan Marino has ever done it more times. And the familiar sight of Manning at the line of scrimmage calling the play. Manning over the middle to Harrison, and Harrison reaches the 17-yard line where Fred Thomas made the tackle.
And Marvin Harrison has not really been a big part of the Colts offense for the last 5 games. People have decided they want to take him out. In this game, you're going to see Fred Thomas running with them all the way. He's going to have him all over the football field with help. This is the way that Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, wants to try and get Marvin Harrison open. Let him run away from the coverage, not try and get on top of it.
Didn't look like much, but it was 6 yards.
James Mungro comes into the backfield. He's number 23 for Indianapolis. Saints defense shifting around, people pointing at each other. Manning pump fake goes for the end zone. Touchdown, Ricky Williams. And just like that, the Colts take advantage of the turnover caused by their defense, and Peyton Manning makes them pay.
I'll tell you, sitting there talking to Peyton yesterday when he started to smile when he said, boy, do I have a lot of weapons. Because of the fact that Reggie Wayne has now stepped up. Everybody seems to know the system. Look at this. He got the matchup that he wanted. He's got a back on a safety. That's with the matchup they were looking for, and it ends up in a touchdown.
Boy, he went around Bellamy and left him by 4 steps. Vanderjagt, the point after, is good. And the Colts have stunned this capacity crowd here at the Superdome. 7-0 Indianapolis.
Human thigh bones are stronger than concrete. The tallest wave ever surfed was 66 feet tall. Miller Lite is half the carbs of Bud Light. Amazing, huh? Miller Lite, great taste, less filling.
Looking to put more miles in your tank? All Shell gasolines are now specially formulated to give you better mileage, helping to take you farther.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest rated midsize sedan among owners. And 50 international awards for the speed readers. The Mazda 6. Now get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years or $2,000 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
You bring me Masaka or it's your badge!
Come on, Buddy Lee. Let's make like a tree and go.
Look out, Buddy Lee! I got to get me some of those jeans.
It's just a game packed with moments that decide championships. It's not just baseball, it's the playoffs. The division series begins Tuesday at 1 and 4 on ESPN.
Peyton Manning looking at the pictures of that short scoring drive. That one worked, that one worked, that one worked real well. Touchdown, 3 plays, 23 yards, a minute 33.
Is this all I have to look at?
And all what he's doing, he's going, and this guy's open, that guy's open. It's because he had a couple guys, you know, he's got choices.
Colts lined up in an onside kick formation, and then Vanderjagt kicks it away. Lewis retreats all the way to the 3-yard line and forced out of bounds near the 25. And there's a flag down. We'll check that in a second.
On this last touchdown play, that's Ricky Williams right to the left of Peyton Manning. That's Jay Bellamy who has him in coverage. You see the receiver up top, Reggie Wayne. He's going to come on down and bring everybody with him. Ricky Williams goes out, little stutter step on the safety, stop, go. Good protection in the corner all by yourself. Big thing is, I think, the protection on this play was a terrific opportunity for Peyton Manning to be able to work the pump and then get him behind the coverage.
The throw any good? Excuse me.
We've talked a lot about the defense of the Colts, but the offense is still pretty good.
Yes, it is. So we've only played 2.5 minutes, and already the Saints have turned it over, and the Colts have capitalized. Now Aaron Brooks goes back to work out of the shotgun. Penalty was against the Saints, and this one is just off the fingertips of tight end Ernie Conwell.
You know, Aaron Brooks, you talk about a guy that's calm. Here's a guy that's in the system now. But I think the amazing thing about him, when you watch him throw, he is throwing the ball better now than he ever has before, and he's confident in throwing it.
Take a look at the numbers. 62%, 4 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Only had 1 coming into tonight's ballgame. He's the guy that has to remain cool until they start to get some of the defensive starters back and get some help. This offense can't try and get too greedy, or he's going to have some problems.
Deuce McAllister, this time the deep man in the eye on 2nd and 10, and Deuce will get the carry. And for the second straight time, there's no place to go. Wedges out maybe a yard on that one.
You want to know something? Do you know how many guys were around the ball on that last play?
All of them?
11. I'm telling you, there were 11 white shirts around Deuce McAllister.
That's what Ron Meeks insists on, the defensive coordinator. I know Tony Dungy is the sort of architect of this defense. We knew him in Tampa to do that. Ron Meeks is the defensive coordinator. Again, calling the defenses. He's the guy that insists that the players run to the ball.
3rd and 8. Brooks, the good scrambler, but he won't get enough. Cut down at the 21 by David Thornton in his first year as a starter. He replaced Mike Peterson, and in this cover 2 defense, he is playing that weak side linebacker. He's the guy who has to make those plays.
The defense is set up for one of the tackles, the 3 tackle they call it, the weak side linebacker and the strong safety. They are the playmakers in this quote-unquote cover 2 defense.
Mitch Berger, who's off to a great start, 3rd in the league, will kick to Brad Pyatt. A real free agent rookie find. He's been great on kick returns so far. Here from the 31, but a block turns the corner. And Pyatt with an 8-yard return to the 39 after a punt of 48. Colts on top in New Orleans early on ESPN.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-em style game. Tackle college or pro football or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's fantasy sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
You've reached the office of
Jeff Nowicki. Jeff Nowicki
is not available. To leave a detailed message, please press 2 now.
Are you ready, people? Positions. Grab those remotes.
It's time to get those thumbs in shape.
And select.
Just press select on your remote during this commercial and get Showtime Unlimited. 10 premium channels, hundreds of hit movies, and popular Showtime originals.
Select.
It's just $11.99 a month. Press select and enjoy it all right now.
Work it, people. Just a few more seconds.
Press select now.
Great job. Now cool down. Stretch those thumbs.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting, low-carb Miller Lite. And Mazda, there's a soul of a sports car in everything we make.
That's Oak Alley Plantation, which was built in 1837. In the 1840s, cotton was king. New Orleans and the Mississippi River planters were some of the wealthiest people in all of the South. Just beautiful down here. Colts take over at the 39, already up 7-0. Great play fake by Manning, as always, and throws over the middle, complete.
Hello, Pollard.
19 yards.
Oh, I'll tell you, here's a guy that even Peyton Manning was talking about yesterday, that he's almost a forgotten man because he's now the blocker. Marcus Pollard, number 81. Watch this. They clear out down the middle. They got Bellamy, the safety, on him, and that ball is thrown where no chance for Bellamy to get to it. Only Pollard, and he makes the catch.
Former basketball player from Bradley, did not play college football. Very talented guy. Ricky Williams hitting the backfield, taken down at the 45-yard line. Charles Grant off the corner. The Saints defense is not up to par, but Charles Grant, who made that tackle, has picked up where he left off as a rookie, tied for 3rd in the NFL in sacks. Darren Smith back in the middle for New Orleans, a position he's played very well during his 11-year career. And Tabucky Jones was the big off-season acquisition for this club. A free safety, he's good enough to cover wide receivers. Manning goes to the shotgun. 2nd and 12 for the Colts. Blitz coming. They protected pretty well, and there's Marcus Pollard again down to the 35-yard line. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, the good news for Peyton Manning is he has all these weapons, but the challenge is trying to keep everyone happy. Last week was Reggie Wayne's breakout game, and the crowd in Indy was chanting Reggie, Reggie, like they do for Reggie Miller at Pacer games. And Peyton is thinking, no, shut up. We don't want to tick off Marvin Harrison, who's been my go-to guy for 5 years. So he said all week long in practice, he's massaging egos. And Marvin is saying, hey, man, when I'm hungry, what do you do? And Peyton would say, feed you. So Peyton making light. But I'll tell you what Marvin had to say after this play.
All right, Suze, thanks. Third about 1.5 yards, and Peyton Manning's going to have to use a timeout. 8:53 to go, first quarter of play. Indianapolis driving, already up by a touchdown.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Checking out surround sound, huh? Oh.
Yeah, time to add some big sound for the big game.
Reddick takes a snap.
Come on.
He drops back. He's going
deep. Maybe it's time to go plasma too.
Yeah, thinner.
Upgrade your system now through September 27th and get 24-month financing on select TVs and home audio. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
And the wheel goes round, 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 round. And the wheel goes round and round and round. And the wheel goes round, 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 round.
Buy 4 advanced technology Bridgestone Dueler tires and get a free Casio color TV.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Welcome back. Up next, Don Shula and Miss Football.
He is definitely one of the greatest.
The perfect Grand Marshal.
Now that's a terrific wave.
Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice. Sundays at 11 on ESPN.
Colts on top 7-0 first quarter in New Orleans. Peyton Manning has been perfect so far. 4 out of 4, 52 yards in the score. 1 to a wide receiver, 1 to a back. That was the touchdown. And 2 to Marcus Pollard, the tight end.
You got to look for Marvin Harris in this kind of a situation.
Manning, shovel pass. Ricky Williams, first down and more, taken down at the 26 by Derek Rogers. For more on Marvin Harrison, here's Susie.
Well, talking to him before the game about his slower than usual start, he said he is frustrated, and it's not about not getting the ball as much, it's why he's not. He insists there has not been double coverage, and even if there was, he would still make the play. He is adamant that something has to change. He's not a vocal guy. He says he still won't be, but he said his patience is getting short.
Now, see, can I tell you something? I don't even understand that because you're winning.
You're winning.
3-0. Shut up and play.
Something he has always done before, that's for sure. Good protection for Manning again. For Harrison in the end zone. Turned one way, turned back, and the ball was there just when his head spun around.
There was a classic example of what Susie was talking about, and Marvin saying, even if I am double covered, there has to be a way to get me the football. You see Fred Thomas outside. Now he goes to the corner, and really this throw is up the field. Marvin goes away from where Tabucky Jones is. Peyton throws it up the field. The thing about this particular pass is we've seen Marvin Harrison make a lot more catches than probably where the ball was on the other side for touchdowns.
2nd and 10. Crowd trying to get into it and hoping the defense can hold. Williams on the draw. Nothing there. Good job by Darren Smith, the middle linebacker, number 54, and Willie Whitehead cleaned up.
Edgerrin James is somebody that has been one of the triplets here in Indianapolis, and he is a guy that is not playing tonight.
Obviously,
back.
Wouldn't be dressed like that if he was playing tonight with that bad back. But, you know, they expect him to really be back healthy. And what Peyton said is, I have confidence in every guy that lines up. Of course, Edge gives them a little bit more of a complete package, and they have to use rotation of backs to get what they want.
3rd and 9. Wants a screen. Williams, blockers in front. First down and more inside the 15. Nicely designed and nicely executed.
Well, you know what's amazing? Now, when you fake to the right where you have Reggie Wayne and you got everybody that they're covering to the right-hand side, watch him fake over here. Everybody goes on the defense to the right, and then bang, they just throw a screen. Look at Marvin Harrison. Look at the people on the Saints that are back on that one side of the field. Once they throw the screen, he's got the whole line in front of him.
And how well did Marvin Harrison help the fake? I mean, Peyton makes the fake. Marvin puts the hands up. It draws the defense. Harrison got it. What a catch. Touchdown.
He did that a year ago in a game we did. Same exact type of catch.
Tipped it to himself with one hand and stayed inbounds.
And, hey, two guys covering him.
Hey, and what a throw. Watch this throw, though. Watch this from Skycam. Peyton looks left, and he just cuts loose a rocket. One hand, let me tap it to myself. Touchdown. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, but look at this throw. That ball is between two people and on his right hand.
Oh.
That's easy.
I was talking to Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, before the game. He said, my high school coach told me a long time ago, get the ball to the guys who can make plays. Marvin Harrison is one of those guys.
Pretty simple when you put it that way, and it's been pretty simple for the Colts. They're up 14-0 already.
As a United Way volunteer, Darren Howard helps out in a drama program that helps kids express themselves.
Action.
Badges? We don't need anything of badges.
Now, that was a good one.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-em style game. Tackle college or pro football or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's Fantasy Sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
The ring's getting heavier, Sam.
A new power is rising.
It is an army bred to destroy the world of men.
How did it come to this?
Your friends are with you, Aragorn.
The defenses have to hold.
They will hold.
The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Every Saturday night, new hit movies premiere only on Stars. Premiering this month.
You're gonna be great. I got a feeling about you.
Hello.
Hi.
Money is what life is all about. Getting it, losing it, needing it.
Premiering Saturday nights this month only on Stars. One of 8 great channels in the Stars Super PAC on Dish Network.
Marvin Harrison with that spectacular catch in the end zone to make it 14-0 Colts. They are off to a blistering start here at the Dome in New Orleans. 75 touchdown catches in Marvin Harrison's career. Only Jerry Rice and Tim Brown had 75.
Oh. You got to figure Marvin Harrison's 29 years old.
Got a ways to go.
Got another 11 years.
Lewis this time from the 5. Taken out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Corey Bird made the tackle.
This is just a question of execution. That's Marvin Harrison. That's Fred Thomas. Peyton Manning just sits there. Marvin Harrison goes up and just runs a simple post pattern. And Peyton Manning says, I can fire the ball. He holds to Bucky Jones, the safety, just for a second, and then fires the ball in.
Marvin Harrison asked Peyton Manning all week, what do you do when a guy's hungry? Feed him. He fed him that time. Quite a combination, those guys.
Well, they work on stuff like that for an hour before the game. They're out here throwing those routes.
First 2 Saints drives, 5 plays, 6 yards. Brooks trying to change that, overthrows Joe Horn, who was open in the seam.
Boy, I'll tell you, Joe Horn was open. He got in the right spot in the seam, and Brooks just threw this ball too hard, too high.
That's Jerome Pathan going right down the slot. Joe Horn outside, drawing the coverage. When you get opportunities in a game like this, when your defense is struggling and you get an opportunity for a play, Aaron Brooks has got to deliver on those plays. You've got to get back into a situation in this game where you can utilize Deuce McAllister's running ability. You can't let the Colts keep scoring and take the running back out for you.
Brooks flushed out of the pocket. No place to go, chased out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Monte Rager.
You know, well, I'll tell you what's bad about that. You got a quarterback that you know he's going to run if he has to. Now, Aaron Brooks rolls out to his right. There were 3 receivers on that side. Nobody came back to help him. Take a look at this thing. It is unbelievable. Here he goes. Now he's running out. Watch the guys on the right-hand side of the field. Nobody's even trying to get open. They're standing around watching him run with the football.
That's the negative side of it. The positive side is Aaron Brooks made a good decision by just getting some yards and getting out of bounds instead of trying to make and force a throw.
3rd and 5. Pathan comes in motion. 4-man rush. Pressure again. Brooks throws underneath. Horn makes the catch, and it's a first down at the 35.
This is really an important conversion for the Saints. They have to try and keep the defense off the field a little bit. Joe Horn comes across the formation. Aaron Brooks does a nice job of stepping up to make the play. I think getting this first down will calm that Saints offense down a little bit and give Aaron a chance to settle in and find Joe some more.
When you see the tackle by Mike Doss, that rookie strong safety, this guy comes up and hits.
Find Joe some more.
Find anybody.
Deuce finally breaks the line of scrimmage and picks up about 12 for a first down, chased out by Walt Harris.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That's the one thing that the Colts can't afford to do, and I think that's Josh Williams on defense that misses a tackle in the hole. You've got Deuce McAllister. You know how big he is and how powerful he is. You cannot tackle him with one hand. Now, here he comes up into the hole. That is Josh Williams, number 96, that doesn't make the tackle. You have to make that tackle.
Well, isn't that defense set up? You have a gap. Everybody has a gap. If he's coming your way, you have to make the play.
Best possession the Saints have had so far, and McAllister adds to it. Driving inside the Colts' 35-yard line.
Boy, was that a hole up the middle. That was, that was beautiful. If you take a look at the blocking up front, Fontenot, Jaycock, Bentley. I mean, you look at these guys. Look at that middle. It is just wide open. And there was nobody there until they got to Bashir, number 28 in the secondary. That was easy.
He is a load to bring down.
McAllister now has 32 yards on 4 carries. Remember, he only had 8 a week ago. McAllister again. This time brought down by Thornton, who grabbed the one leg and wouldn't let go.
Last year, the New Orleans Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice by playing physical football and running the football right at the middle of the defense. What they want to do is they want to do the same thing now, force the safeties to come up and try and make tackles. Then they'll be able to open up their passing game to their wide receivers, Pathan and Horn.
This is a club hungry for points. They're only averaging 8.6 points a game. Brooks, Horn on the flanker screen. Had 1 block, but there are 3 defenders out there. Harper led the charge defensively. Who had the best day in the NFL? Was it Steve McNair? He was only 15 out of 16, 161 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gus Frerotte filling in for the injured Dante Culpepper. John Kitna in Cincinnati's first win, Stephen Davis, who has been a tremendous addition to Carolina, or Dante Hall with his 6th return for a touchdown in the last 9 games. Log on to ESPN.com. We'll give you the results in the 4th.
I got a write-in, Randy Moss.
Not a bad choice.
And all those guys were on winning teams.
Blitz coming. They pick it up very well. Brooks throws underneath, incomplete. And Payton wants an interference call.
Aaron Brooks has got to watch himself. Just go back to the huddle. Go back to the huddle. They're going to start the clock. You're going to have to call a play.
All right, here's Payton. He's in motion. Now look at, he's saying that he is being held.
No, he's not. He's being tackled. There's a difference. I agree. I think he has a legitimate beef.
Robert Mathis got a big arm load of him, and John Carney, 3rd best in NFL history in percentage terms. Vanderjagt, his opposition kicker, is the first, and it's a fake. Carney. Oh, he will not make the first down, and the saving tackle by number 41, Corey Bird. So Jim Haslett going into the bag of tricks, trying to make something happen. It looked good, but it wasn't enough.
You know what? When we're talking about these teams, about every aspect of this team is working, offense, defense, special teams, that gives you an idea. That's still special teams when you see a guy come up and make a play like that.
This fall, Bristol-Myers Squibb, the cancer community, and I will come together for a very special campaign called the Tour of Hope. We want to raise awareness of clinical trials and let people know that cancer research is worth the ride. I've had this relationship with Bristol-Myers Squibb for years now, because if it wasn't for BMS drugs, I just would not be sitting here today. Together, we can speed the search for a cure.
Follow the Bristol-Myers Squibb Tour of Hope team and Lance Armstrong in this historic ride. Find out more by visiting our website.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Jack?
The way you feel about sports cars will never be the same.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground. Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
It's just a game packed with moments that decide championships. It's not just baseball, it's the playoffs. The division series begins Tuesday at 1 and 4 on ESPN.
Colts on top 14-0 over the Saints, as New Orleans goes with a trick play on 4th and 7. John Carney, the place kicker, trying to run after a toss from Mitch Berger, and they didn't make it. Corey Bird with a saving tackle. Reggie Wayne, you talk about feeding somebody. He has 60 family members here. He grew up in New Orleans. He's playing this game for free after buying all those tickets. He'd like to catch one. Mungro in at running back, and he'll get the carry. Breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet at the 35, 36-yard line.
All 3 elements of the Indianapolis Colts working tonight. First play of the game on offense, interception. Jim Nelson winds up picking it off. Then Peyton Manning fires the ball to his favorite receiver, Marvin Harrison. And then Corey Bird, who's been replaced as the strong safety by Mike Doss, making a first down saving tackle on the fake field goal on John Carney.
2nd and 2 for the Colts. Time winding down first quarter. Mungro again has the first down across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Henry Ford made the tackle. Mungro has normally been the short yardage guy on this team. Only 5'9", 203. Missed all of last year with knee surgery, but...
Yeah, but last year he had 8 touchdowns. I mean, you're right, Mike. He's the guy they use in short yardage and goal line situations. You know, he's like the Mo Williams of the Indianapolis Colts. Mo up in Minneapolis.
Manning straight back to throw. Over the middle, Pollard. And Pollard to the 41-yard line, a gain of 20.
Well, you know, they really wanted, I'm telling you, they really wanted to get the ball to Pollard. He hasn't gotten the ball in the first 3 games, really. He's been there blocking tight end. But Peyton Manning was really kind of upset. He said, you know, this guy is such a workhorse. He's such a great player. He never complained because they went out and they got their #1 draft choice was Dallas Clark, number 44. Never bothered this guy. At least externally, it didn't bother this guy. He said, I've got to get him the ball, and he's going to be big in our offense tonight. He's already caught 3, I believe.
And Dallas Clark, a very good receiving tight end. He's in the slot, number 44 in this formation. Mungro breaks an arm tackle and goes inside the 40-yard line. Peyton Manning, first quarter, 8 out of 9, 103 yards. And his Colts are on top of the Saints, 14-0. An impressive opening performance in the first 15 minutes for Indianapolis.
Hi, this is Chris Fowler. Follow the nation's best college football teams as they strive for gridiron glory with the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package. ESPN Game Plan will feature more than 100 games from the country's top conferences. And if you sign up, you could win an autographed football from Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, or yours truly. To order ESPN Game Plan on Dish Network season ticket, call 1-800-333-DISH.
Well, I hope Roger found enough firewood.
Yeah, I want to make s'mores.
Hey, guys, I gathered the wood and made a fire.
Oh, yeah, and I built this shelter.
Even as a kid, I believed in giving people a little more than they expected. I'm Roger Riney. I started Scottrade to take care of online investors like nobody else. With $7 trades, no inactivity fees, and personal attention at your local office. Click, call, or stop by Scottrade today.
Well, their big three is somewhat similar to ours. If you make a mistake and you're lackadaisical, they're going to make you pay. We have good practice at that because we see Marvin, Edge, and Payne every day in practice. So we should be all right.
Is Tony Dungy one of the best defensive coaches ever? The stats say he is. 26 points allowed, the fewest against the Colts in the first 3 games of the season since 1971. And Tony Dungy has done it wherever he has gone, whether he's been a defensive coordinator or a head coach either in Tampa or now in Indianapolis. Ricky Williams is back in at a running back for Peyton Manning. Blitz coming. Manning. Pollard wide open. Lost the ball at the 10. What a play by Peyton Manning. He knew it was coming, called the right play. Pollard was open, and he got it to him.
Well, go ahead, Joe.
No, what a play by the Saints defense as well to get back and be able to knock the ball out. Here comes the pressure from both sides. Peyton knows he has one-on-one. Just get it up in the air. That's Roger Knight that's chasing him. But who's coming over to make the big hit? Jay Bellamy. Bellamy, of course, in there starting. Boom.
Well, the thing about Pollard was looking at Knight. He never saw Bellamy. He figured, well, I already got Knight beat. I just catch the ball, cradle it, and it's in.
He sees him now.
Wow, did he make a great play, Bellamy.
Bellamy came over from Seattle, where he was a long-time starter. Another blitz. They've got the screen to Ricky Williams. Room to run. Williams to the 21-yard line.
It's coming back, Michael, because Jeff Saturday, number 63, the center, was holding. And when you're holding out in the middle of the field and you're the only guy out there, they're going to catch you.
Boy, and that's a big break for the Saints, too.
This screen was set up perfectly to run. All they had to do is get the block, and Ricky Williams was there. Jeff Saturday was out there.
Well, you never see an offensive lineman frown. He just frowned. Darn. That's what you hear, the sound you hear from him. Darn.
You know, one of the reasons they're so good with screens is that Peyton Manning is such a great actor. That's why he's good at play fakes and everything else.
Well, the other thing is they've got receivers that go up the field. You've got tight ends that can take the linebackers out and wide receivers that can take the corners up the field.
Third and 17. Pressure on Manning, and this time they got it. Grady Jackson, who they picked up as a free agent from the Raiders, now has 2.5 sacks on the year, and he put all 330 pounds right in Peyton Manning's grill.
Well, I'll tell you what, Grady Jackson is not that fast, but DeMoling was the guy that was trying to block him. He just went around him and never even slowed down, went right directly for Peyton Manning and knocked him out.
I think DeMoling was looking for help from Saturday. He should have looked back to Friday.
Hunter Smith to kick it away, and Michael Lewis will wait at his 15. Beautiful kick by Smith. Lewis fields it at the 6. Almost got up the sideline. 10-yard return after a 51-yard punt. Gary Brackett on the tackle on special teams. 14-0, back in a moment.
Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Remember how great the last day of school was? That's what getting away on a fun fair feels like. They're everyday low fares to your favorite vacation spots that start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
The Kia Sorento just received the government's highest safety rating and was voted #1 in quality. Safety and quality. There's really nothing left for us to say. Except, it is the only SUV with a standard V6 engine, front and side curtain airbags, and a 10-year warranty, all for thousands less than Highlander. Okay, that's all we're gonna say.
Tuesday. If you like rushing, clipping, and passing,
I seen you checking her out, man.
you'll love Too Fast, Too Furious. Own it Tuesday.
A man in Austria survived without food or water for 18 days. The largest bicep is 30 inches around. Miller Lite has 1/3 less carbs than Coors Light. Amazing, huh? Miller Lite, great taste, less filling.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 38. McDonald's and Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
We're in the Crescent City of New Orleans, located between the Mississippi and Lake Pontchartrain. Actually, downtown New Orleans, a couple of feet below sea level. Saints are below sea level right now, down 14-0. McAllister takes it up to the 20. Joe Horn wired for Sunday night. Let's listen in.
They going to him. They going to him. They going to their playmaker, baby. Like what? 4 quarters, Jerome. 4 quarters, man.
Joe Horn trying to keep Jerome Pathan up. Rest of his teammates in the game.
And he's saying they're going to him. He's talking about Marvin Harrison. Because they're going to the playmaker. Go to me.
Brooks with good protection. McAllister out in the flat. Breaks the tackle and dives across the 25 to the 26. Let's check in with Susie.
Mike, Joe Horn admitted after last week's loss that he let himself get out of the game mentally because he wasn't getting the rock. He said during the week he realized how wrong he was. Whether he gets 1 ball or none, he must stay focused. He told me before the game, I'm still growing. It will never happen again. He knows he's an example for the young guys, and he promised us a big game tonight.
Susie, that's good to hear. There's some guys in this league, and they will remain nameless, who don't have that attitude. They don't understand that they're wrong. McAllister going for the first down, gets up to the 29-yard line.
Now, you want to talk about a back moving a line? I'm going to tell you right now, Deuce McAllister moves this defensive line. Watch this power. He's going to go right straight up the middle. Watch this. Boom. And then watch back. That's an extra 4 yards, Joseph.
That's just simply a 225-pound back with a lot of speed and a lot of power.
And a good block by Kendall Jaycox. McAllister, nothing this time as that Colts defense swarms him at the 31. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. It's the best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9, the Monday Night Game. Brett Favre and the Packers, and Brian Urlacher and the Bears at Soldier Field.
Of course, we had the Bears against Minnesota, gave the Vikings everything they could handle, but the Vikings are still 4-0. Congratulations to Mike Tice.
Great start for them. McAllister. Good job by Rob Morris, who came up and got enough of him to knock him off his pin.
Now, let me ask something. Do you like Rob Morris?
Oh, he's great.
He's one of the funniest guys you ever talked to. When he first came into the league, he had no idea what he was doing. He said they were talking about 4-3, 3-4. And he said, wait a minute, aren't there 11 guys on defense? He said, what are you talking about? This guy. But he now bought into the system. He knows where he has to go. This is going to be a heck of a football player.
All he ever did at BYU was see the ball, chase the ball, go get the guy.
He really had to discipline himself.
Brooks. And dropped by the usually reliable Ernie Conwell.
Well, this Colts secondary and linebackers are doing an excellent job. Aaron Brooks really doesn't have any place to go down the field. And so he's having to try and dump the ball off. And then the Colts, like you say, guys, have bought into everybody run to the football, and they're only allowing short gains.
I'll tell you, that was a 1-yard pattern. If he caught that, he doesn't get the first down anyway.
Mitch Berger comes on to punt to Brad Pyatt. Saints offense has only produced 74 yards. Pyatt with a muff. Very fortunate to get it back, and then he's buried at the 19. Timeout, second quarter. Colts, who struck quickly, continue to lead 14-0.
It's just a game packed with moments that decide championships. It's not just baseball, it's the playoffs. The division series begins Tuesday at 1 and 4 on ESPN.
Hi, this is Chris Fowler. Follow the nation's best college football teams as they strive for gridiron glory with the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package. ESPN Game Plan will feature more than 100 games from the country's top conferences. And if you sign up, you could win an autographed football from Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, or yours truly. To order ESPN Game Plan on Dish Network season ticket, call 1-800-333-DISH.
This is a direct response ad. In just 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you about a great product at a great price, and then you're going to pick up the phone and call. Here we go. The Star Super Pack. It's 8 great movie channels with over 400 different movie choices a month. $11.99 or less a month. 1-800-333-DISH. So pick up the phone and get the Star Super Pack, because we've got new hit movies like Red Dragon, The Emperor's Club, and 8 Mile. They're only on Stars. Call now, 1-800-333-DISH, and ask for Stars. That's it, 30 seconds. All right.
Introducing Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. The convenient way to get what you want when you want it. Like local and national 5-day forecasts and current weather conditions, late-breaking news and entertainment buzz, account information, and the power to pay your bill or add programming. Even get the latest sports scores and much more. Dish Home Interactive TV is free and easy to use. Just use your remote control from the comfort of your couch. So don't wait around. Get the information you want. Tune to Channel 100 right now.
It's been a spectacular first half for Peyton Manning. That's Ricky Williams out of the backfield for the first touchdown, and then Marvin Harrison works his magic in the end zone. 2 scoring strikes for Peyton Manning, 8 out of 10, 103 yards.
For the start last week, Reggie Wayne has not even seen the ball.
Dominique Rhodes on the field for the first time this year. Missed all of last season with a knee injury. Manning fakes to it. Plenty of time and throws. Wide open is Harrison. Marvin Harrison. Goodbye. 79 yards.
The only way he hits the ground is he slips on the turf out of the end zone. You know, you mentioned Reggie Wayne didn't catch a ball, but so often it's the off receiver that helps out the guy that catches the football. Reggie Wayne is on the opposite side of the field. Marvin comes across the formation after play fake, gets in behind the linebacker. Now watch, up in front of you, you see Reggie Wayne. See him, number 87? He took both coverages, the safety and the corner, away from Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison said all week, I'm hungry, you got to feed me. He's getting full. 3 carries, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to get fat at that rate.
The only thing missing may be dessert. And Peyton Manning with 3 first-half touchdown passes. The Colts are up big.
Oops.
What you doing, Brian?
I'm just putting my name and address in these bottles and sending them out to sea. Hopefully someone will find them and contact me someday.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Why? Why do you torture me, Brian Henderson of 12 Maple Lane?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Brian. Nice to meet you.
What you got there? It's a McGriddle sandwich from McDonald's. What's in it? It's good. It's like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. Except it's got these 2 griddle cakes with the taste of maple syrup inside. That's bizarre. Then again, it's not that bizarre.
New McGriddles. Bizarre, but yummy.
Parents are
Homos, Fruit Loops, a sissy lumberjack.
His parents are
Irish Catholic, baboon, Republican nightmare.
The battle rages on.
I blame Clinton.
It's All Relative, coming out Wednesday at 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC.
Marvin Harrison with 2 touchdown catches tonight. Peyton Manning in the first 3 games of the season had 3 touchdown passes. He has 3 touchdown passes in the first half tonight.
Number 1 on Rick Venturi, the defensive coordinator of the Saints list to stop the Colts on offense was to eliminate the big plays. That has not happened.
Michael Lewis from the 9. Hasn't broken one yet this year. Gets a good one here out to the 37. A 29-yard return by the former beer truck driver.
And you go back to this play here. Watch the play action. There's the fake to Rhodes. Watch what Manning does, how he convinces the linebackers that this is a run. The offensive line fires out. Offensive line does their job. Make it look like a run. Now here comes Marvin Harrison across the formation. You get into the area behind the linebackers in front of the deep players. There's the play. Sell it completely. Bends down, takes a look at the linebacker, knows exactly where he wants to put the football.
Brooks has it batted down at the line of scrimmage. But when you look at that replay, even after Peyton Manning pulled the ball back out, those defensive linemen were taking 2, 3, 4 steps still to the left to follow the, quote, running play, unquote.
You know what's amazing? When Manning play actions, and a lot of quarterbacks don't do that, he puts the whole ball out where you can see it. Because a lot of times when you do that, you run into the back and he knocks the ball out of your hand. But he lets you see the ball.
I know my hands weren't big enough to be able to do it.
They still aren't.
They usually don't throw in retirement.
Sorry.
McAllister out of the backfield, struggling for extra yardage up to the 45. Let's go to Susie.
Well, we know that Peyton is the master at the play action. Very critical of other quarterbacks. He said he can tell if it's a handoff or a fake right after the snap. To test himself, he'll pull out old game film of himself, and if it's a play he doesn't remember, he'll see if he can fake himself out. Sometimes he says he can see it so well, he believes that all 10 guys are doing something on a play that he needs to be doing something too, not just handing off and watching.
Susie, he is a marvel not only for his physical gifts, but his attention to detail. He works on all the little things so hard, and he is so bright. Joe, there's only a couple of quarterbacks in the league that can run the offense the way Tom Moore has it set up, to have all those plays called in huddle, potential plays, and then pick them out at the line.
I think Aaron Brooks is beginning to understand that concept, but the two guys today in the game, Rich Gannon out in Oakland, Peyton Manning, they are demanding on coordinators to keep feeding them more and more plays and more challenges.
Boy, the Saints could really use some points here. McAllister on the draw. Fights down to the 42, where Mike Doss made the finishing tackle.
The Saints right now in the position of this ball game, down 21 points, is part of Jim Haslett's big challenge. This is a football team that is still young and can get down on itself very quickly and easily. The important thing for Haslett and his staff to do is to tell these guys, look, we can come around, we can get it done. We've seen crazier things happen in this business. It's just that the Saints have to believe that they can come back.
2nd and 6 from the Colts 42. Four-man rush. Horn with his checkered Stallworth on a strike from Brooks. Gain of 19.
I said before that AB, Aaron Brooks, has been throwing the ball better than he ever has before. Well, this is a page out of Peyton Manning. Watch where he puts this ball. He's looking at Stallworth all the way, and look at the zip on this ball. That ball is between two guys. Here comes Stallworth. Watch this. Look where this ball is thrown. Actually, there's 3 guys there, and he gets the ball into Stallworth.
Boy, that thing had some pace on it, didn't it? Back to McAllister. Picking his way and swallowed up by Raheem Brock.
You know, one of the real big problem is that the Saints, you know, they lose 5 guys on their starting defense. But the problem so far tonight is, and we're under 7 minutes in the second quarter, is their offense that they haven't done anything. And that's where they're healthy. And this is where, these guys have to score now. And I'm not talking about 3. They need 7.
They do. They need to figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone.
They're averaging less than 300 yards a game in total offense. 25th in the NFL. This was a team that was dominant on offense a year ago. Colts show blitz, and they come. Brooks hangs in there, sidearms it incomplete, intended for Stallworth, but David Macklin was right there.
That's one of those plays that you appreciate both sides of the ball. I think it's a great call by Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, and Aaron Brooks did a nice job of not panicking and flushing himself out of the pocket. From the left side, here comes the blitz. It's coming this way. Okay, there they come. Now, he could run right behind Deuce. He doesn't. He tries to make the throw and make the play. That's very difficult to do from a discipline standpoint when all those people are coming at you.
Yeah, he looks at it, he's going to say, I should have thrown it to Deuce.
Big play here for Brooks and the Saints, 3rd and 6. Starts to run, then dumps it, and Ernie Conwell dropped it again. You will never see Ernie Conwell dropped 3 balls. Maybe in a year he's dropped 3 in this game. Guy has great hands. He's just off tonight.
Look at this. I mean, this ball isn't thrown all that hard. It's like he crossed his hands and catch it.
He may not get the first down because he's not crossed the sticks, but at least he can catch the ball. I got to tell you guys, I watched practice on Friday. He dropped a few of them then. I mean, I believe that what happens in practice translates out into games so often.
And now Carney will come on, presumably not with another fake kick. He will try a 38-yard field goal as the Saints desperate to get on the board. And Carney knocks it through. 6:04 to go first half. Saints finally on the scoreboard, but they're down 21-3.
It's just a game packed with moments that decide championships. championships. It's not just baseball, it's the playoffs. The division series begins Tuesday at 1 and 4 on ESPN.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-'em style game. Tackle college or pro football, or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes, including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's fantasy sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
Getting heavier, Sam.
A new power is rising.
It is an army bred to destroy the world of men.
How did it come to this?
Your friends are with you, Aragorn.
The defenses have to hold.
They will hold.
The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
We've got everything. This is the Sunday night Weasel Cam up in one of the catwalks in the top of the dome. No, thank you.
Well, they strapped that camera on a weasel, and they let him run around the thing and hope they get some good pictures.
That's why they call it the Weasel Cam. That's one thing you're not going to strap on John Turling, the big guy in the middle. He's not going to be crawling around up in the catwalks of this stadium.
21-3. Hyatt.
Look out.
Berger can't get it. Finally knocked out of bounds, but not before he's in Saints territory, and Michael Lewis saved the touchdown on a 50-yard return. They just love this kid, the free agent kick returner who's had a huge impact.
Isn't that what Peyton Manning said to us when he walked in the door? He says, we have a returner now that gives us excellent field position. Brad Pyatt, number 84. Look at the hole, though, folks. Mitch Berger gets hurt on this play. He hurt his ankle.
And you want to keep one of your fastest men on the kick cover team, because in case something like this happens, Michael Lewis is going to have to go over and be the last line of defense.
And Pyatt came up limping as well. Looked like he may have injured his ankle. Ricky Williams back in at running back. They mark it out at midfield. And Manning goes right back to work. Rifles this one to Pollard down to the 33. Tuesday, the Major League Baseball postseason begins with a doubleheader on ESPN. First at 1 Eastern, the Twins and the Yankees meet in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. And then at 4 Eastern, the Marlins take on the Giants in Game 1 of the National League Series. Santana against Messina, the 17-game winner for the Yankees.
How about them Yankees?
How about them?
How about them Twins?
How about them?
Yeah.
Twins?
How about them Cubbies?
How about that? Williams down to the 30.
Going back to that last completion to Pollard, I remember yesterday when we sat with Peyton Manning, he sat there and said, we have a lot of guys catching the ball. Reggie Wayne had a coming out party last week, and Marvin's our big play guy. And of course, we got Dallas Clark as the receiving tight end, who, by the way, hasn't caught a ball tonight. He said, I'd love to get some crumbs to Marcus Pollard. He's up to a half a loaf right now.
You made a great point earlier. The Tom Moore's offense is based on mismatches, and with Pollard, they have one.
Against Roger Knight, who's filling in for Cedric Hodge.
Manning going to have to try to take off. That is not Peyton's strong suit. He's down to the 29. Peyton tonight, 10 out of 12, 198 yards as Charles Grant squeezed the pocket down.
Big third down here for the Saints defense. If they can stop them and force them to try a field goal, they'll get the ball back, maybe have an opportunity to get down into scoring position, and they'll cut the lead in half.
Troy Walters is in as an extra wide receiver. He's in the slot near side. Wayne goes in motion. Manning, little shovel pass to Williams, and he's down to the 25, about a yard shy of a first down.
Well, I'll tell you, when you go 3 wides like that against the Saints, and they're going to bring all those people out, that was an excellent call. All they had to do was just break 1 tackle. If you break the 1 tackle, you got a touchdown.
In the first quarter, they picked up a crucial first down on the same exact play.
Now they send on the field goal team, and Mike Vanderjagt, the most accurate place kicker to ever play in the National Football League. 86%. This year, he's perfect, 10 out of 10. And he hasn't been hitting chip shots either. 4 over 40 yards. Vanderjagt still perfect on the year. That's from 41, his 5th kick over 40 yards. And it's 24-3 Colts. Let's go to Susie.
Well, guys, Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison has been such an amazing combination. Their communication in another stratosphere, which explains the 61 touchdown connection, tops on the active list for tandems. Only one pair beats them, and that's Young to Rice. Peyton considers him 100% reliable and always where he should be.
Well, that all-time record is going to go away. I'm telling you.
You would think.
Well, these 2 guys are going to make it go away.
Manning talking to Tom Moore.
I think what's amazing is people forget, you know, Joe Montana threw a lot of touchdown passes to Jerry Rice. And yet Steve Young came in and played after Joe left, and
right.
Steve has the record with Jerry. I mean,
well, the one thing about when you look at this, I'll tell you, you know, we're talking about Peyton Manning throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison. But the guy we just cannot forget, even though he hasn't caught a pass tonight, is what Reggie Wayne did a week ago. To really make this Saints defense be aware of where this guy right there is. And now he has not caught a ball tonight. I don't even know if they threw the ball. I don't think they threw the ball to him. But he knows that he's prepared. He said, you know, what he did is he learned the system. He's now knows what Peyton Manning's going to go through when he gets his progression. And now he's ready to play.
Lewis deep again. Vanderjagt drives him to the 3. And Corey Bird has been in on virtually every special teams tackle tonight.
Peyton Manning has not been touched. He hasn't been pressured on the big plays. The first one to Ricky Williams, they do a little stutter step on Bellamy and get it up. Now it's just a rocket ship. Of course, Marvin Harrison puts on his special kind of play. And there's Marvin Harrison on a crossing route. But Reggie Wayne, as you mentioned, Paul, was a guy that made that happen because he ran the other corner, Ashley Ambrose, 40 yards down the field and allowed Marvin to make the play. And you look at the way the distribution is. That's part of the problem of defending this Colt offense now. It used to be Marvin Harrison getting all the balls, had 143 last year. Now you've got tight ends, running backs, and the off receiver.
So the Saints find themselves down by 21 again and need to get something out of this possession. Horn underneath, whacked down as he got to the 32.
I'll tell you something.
Harper were there.
This ain't going to get it done. You can't continue to throw 3-yard patterns against this Colt defense and expect to go anywhere.
But the defense is set up not to allow you to throw it any further.
That's Wayne Gandy down on the field.
And he is one of the most durable linemen in the history of the National Football League. He just doesn't miss any time. He replaced Kyle Turley, went to the Rams as a free agent. They're working on Gandy. We will check on him when we come back on Sunday Night Football.
Okay, I'm on. How do I get started?
Do you know the way to use eBay? Millions of people do, so why not you? Let's start today. eBay is so very easy. Put a few bucks down, your cash goes far. Buy a thing, maybe two, maybe even a car. Do you know the way to use eBay?
Okay.
Bourbon Street in New Orleans, one of the great places as a tourist to go and have a little fun. Paul, you like Bourbon Street, don't you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know that this place is like what, 2 feet below sea level. I fell off the curb and almost drowned the other night.
No, that was in something you were holding. That was your glass. Great restaurants in this town. Clancy's, Mike Anderson's. Oh, I love those places. I'm sorry.
You can't name names.
But they're great restaurants there. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Have to pay anyone out there.
One of the things about this game is Colts fan in the past, if they were up 24-3 nearing the half, they'd still be nervous because the defense was capable of giving up so many points. They feel a lot better about it this year with a 21-point lead. Brooks trying to cut into it. McAllister. Thornton is right there to make the tackle.
Boy, I'll tell you, isn't that, I mean, when you see tackles like David Thornton there, where you got Deuce McAllister basically on the run, and here's a guy that stops him in his tracks. Deuce McAllister did not gain even a half a yard after the catch.
And you have to try and pick up the first down now if you're the Saints on offense. And you want to move with a little bit of pace. Aaron Brooks running somewhat of a no-huddle 2-minute offense.
And Thornton is a remarkable find for this ball club, a fourth-round draft choice. He walked on at North Carolina, was a great special teams player, didn't even get to start until he was a senior, and on a defense with Julius Peppers and Ryan Sims, two guys who were high first-round draft choices, he was named the MVP of that team, and they think he has an unlimited future.
And we mentioned it earlier. He is playing the will linebacker position in this defense, which is, to give you a point of reference, the same position Derek Brooks plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Which will stands for weak linebacker.
Yes, which is opposite of the
strong linebacker, which is right on the other side of the middle linebacker.
To the left.
I learned so much on this broadcast.
Retain.
3rd and inches. Saints trying to keep the drive alive. Deuce does just that across the 40. And the Saints are going to use the timeout to stop the clock before the 2-minute warning at 2:06.
I like this because this really gives them, you don't look at me.
I'm asking.
I like
moving
this
over, but I'm
asking.
asking.
It gives them an extra play before the 2-minute.
Why?
Because why?
Yeah, why?
Because they're going to get the clock stopped in 6 seconds anyway.
Right. So why?
They wouldn't get that play in. You understand? That's an extra play.
Okay. But you could still use the timeout after the 2 minutes to get in another
You could,
play.
but they're not going to because they don't have it.
Not now.
Why do I feel like sometimes I'm alone when I'm talking to him?
No, I understand what you're saying.
I'm moving down my mic again. I like it.
Peyton Manning watching what's going on.
I'm still trying to figure out that last exchange. Brooks with time. Complete down to the 29-yard line. Jerome Payton, a gain of 30.
Obviously, they liked the discussion they had, Paul. That timeout was very, very well used.
Boy, they needed that play, too.
Well, it's not like they haven't been knocking on the door. They've been inside the 30-yard line of the Colts. Now what they've got to do is turn this into some touchdown.
The Kia Sorento just received the government's highest safety rating and was voted #1 in quality. Safety and quality. There's really nothing left for us to say. Except, it is the only SUV with a standard V6 engine, front and side curtain airbags, and a 10-year warranty, all for thousands less than Highlander. Okay, that's all we're gonna say.
Come on in, Derek. Derek, I thought we had this thing worked out. I hear you're out dancing, eating, and just carousing with your friends. Is it true you're going out every night?
Absolutely not.
Good.
If you want to enjoy the New York nightlife, bring your Visa card, because Orso, Cheetah, and the Broome Street Bar don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Hey, Derek, we are running late. Sorry.
So how's it coming?
Good. This one looks pretty exotic.
Cool.
Mosquito nets. What was that? Maybe not that exotic.
Great.
Everything you need to choose the hotel that's right for you.
Expedia.com.
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear. Call 877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
Coming up at the half, the Toyota Halftime Show with Chris Berman, the fastest 3 minutes in television, Boomer's Halftime Heroes, and we will preview the baseball playoffs. All of that and more coming up on the Toyota Halftime Show. 1:58 to go first half. Saints driving down 24-3, trying to get back in the ballgame. Draw play, deuce. Running room inside the 20 to the 17-yard line.
I think it's very important for the Saints to be conscious of the time here. They want to run time off the clock so that the Colts don't get Peyton Manning back on the field with too much, but they've got to be careful that they create opportunities to get in the end zone as well. 75 yards first half rushing for McAllister. Ernie Conwell, who had dropped 3, hangs on to this one and reaches the 6.
He gets a standing ovation.
Boy, that had to make him feel so much better, though. That guy's a quality tight end.
And they got first and goal at the 6.
And they have 2 timeouts, so there's really no hurry here for Aaron Brooks. He can take his time, make sure everybody's on the same page. I'd look for Joe Horn on a quick post or Jerome Pathan, these 2 guys on the lower right side.
They got somebody hurt. The Colts take a timeout.
May have been a little confusion on defense. Well, we have a second. Let's check in with Chris Berman. Boomer.
Michael, it was supposed to be a showdown between Randy Moss and Terrell Owens. There was a blowout, 35-7 the Vikes. 3 touchdown catches Moss for Terrell Owens. That's seeing his offensive coordinator, Greg Knapp, not cute.
Boy, what a blowout. 35-7, Vikings undefeated.
You had a blowout and a blow-up all in the same game.
Yeah. Well, when he doesn't get his balls, that's the normal reaction.
Well, you know, there's a philosophical difference when it comes to play calling in San Francisco. It was a West Coast offense. Now they want to go down the field a bit more. I don't know if Jeff Garcia is suited to do what they want to do on offense now, so you've got questions there. There's another one. Now, Marvin Harrison hasn't been vocal on the sidelines. Matter of fact, when you talk to Reggie Wayne, unless you ask Marvin a question, you're not going to get any answers at all. But there's a guy who's been consistent and solid and patient.
First and goal for the Saints. Plenty of time left. McAllister. Colts have not given up a rushing touchdown this year until now.
Boy, I'll tell you, this was all Deuce McAllister. Here's a situation where this guy shows you strength. The one thing that he does that I really like about it, and all good backs do that, if you just watch their feet, they never stop moving their feet. And when they do that, it's hard to bring him down. Watch McAllister. His feet are still moving all the time. Now he sees it back into the inside, and this is just pure power.
Guy is 221 pounds, and he is cut.
That was number 21, Walt Harris, that just went off his back like water off a duck's.
We're going to review the previous play.
You know why? You got to look where his knee was down before he put the ball over the goal line. He may not have scored on this play. It is not where, it's where the ball is when the knee hits the ground. Here comes Deuce McAllister. Well, now watch his knees. The knee is down there. The ball is on the 1. This is not a touchdown. They're going to bring the ball back to the 1-yard line.
And keep in mind, this is reviewed from upstairs by the officials. This is not a challenge by the Colts.
Inside 2 minutes.
I'll tell you, this is a great review, though, because he does not score a touchdown. His knee, on the other angle that you can see it, his knee is down, and then he puts the ball over the end zone. I mean, it's good hustle by Deuce McAllister, but they're going to put this ball on the 1.
In a way, this is good for the Saints as well, because they'll be able to take some more time off the goal line.
If they score.
If they score. Because you don't want Peyton Manning getting the ball with a minute left and a half and a timeout.
Wait a minute. I got to go back through this one just one more time. it's good for them to take the touchdown off the board.
No, not the touchdown off the board. If they just score, that's fine. But you just don't want to give Peyton that much time because you know it. They've been eating chunks of Jim Haslett's defense up.
And the way this Colt offense is running, they're not going to sit on the ball. We know that. They're going to put as many points up as they can this year because their defense is doing so well that they can. And I believe this is going to be, would it be third down?
Duke's going to have to put his hat back on and go back to work.
I think so. I mean, his knee was down, the ball's at the 1.
If you are a Colts fan, this should encourage you. They should go into the half with the lead, barring some kind of a miracle. And they have won each of the last 16 games they've played when they led it to half.
You know, it's funny, we were talking the other day, Joe, about this Colt team. They win a game 9-6, but they win the game, and they have 2 goal line stands. It just tells you that the defense is almost there. Tony Dungy doesn't believe that they're there yet, but they're almost where he wants them.
When we talked to him yesterday, I got the feeling, asked him, when did he think that this defense started to really get it and come together? He said in the offseason, in the mini camps, they really started to understand. Rob Morris told us yesterday as well. He knows what's going on now.
The runner had possession of the ball. However, his knee was down when the ball was at the 3-quarter-yard line. It'll be second down.
Good call in a good spot. Of course, the crowd doesn't like it.
No, but that really is that's great for the upstairs guy to go down and replay it.
Good job of officials working the game. Everybody communicating.
Now it's second and goal.
Terrell Smith, the fullback, Deuce McAllister, the halfback. You got about, almost 470 pounds of beef back there. I think one of those would get it.
I'd get right behind Smith, unless they're going to give it to Smith.
McAllister, touchdown.
Dude says, I got to do it again.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, do you see who he went behind? Smith, number 44. He just followed him right into the end zone.
Terrell Smith, a solid blocker out of Arizona State.
Deuce, where's 44? All right, there's 44. You're getting your block. I'm following you in.
Now Carney for the point after, and this got the Saints back in the ballgame. You know, that's a pretty impressive drive, down 24-3 on the verge of being blown out at home, and they come back and get that score.
And they finally got a big play in the drive. It's all been 3-yard passes. Paul, you mentioned it. How are you going to move down the field with 3- and 4-yard passes? Aaron Brooks has a right to smile now. Made the big throw to Payton to be able to set up the opportunity for Deuce to go in.
And one thing about the Colts on this, they got 42 seconds, and they only have 1 timeout left.
And I think as you look to the second half now, the Colts have not done a very good job of running the football. Rick Venturi, the defensive coordinator of the Saints, will take a look at what's going on. Of course, Tony Dungy is not happy with what he has seen here. But the Saints have to say, okay, we can move the ball, and they're not running it. So we can shut down that Manning passing game. We're right back in this.
Well, with all due respect to Ricky Williams, James Mungro, and Dominique Rhodes, they are not combined Edger and James, and he is out tonight with a bad back. This is a guy who was the 2-time rushing champion in this league.
Well, that's what the Colts were talking about. That we have Edger and James. When he's healthy, he plays. He does all these things, but now they have Mungro, Williams, and Rhodes. They each one of them do something separately. So that means you've got to put them in different situations, and it's all down in distance.
Troy Walters is deep for this return, so Pyatt may have hurt himself on that last run back when it looked like he injured an ankle. Walters from the 9 with a running start. Has a seam across the 30. A flag is down as he's tackled at the 37. James Allen with the tackle on special teams for the Saints. And if this comes back, Indianapolis may play it safe.
Peyton Manning has done an outstanding job spreading the ball around. Look at the distribution. I mean, just 2 passes here, 3 passes there. It is very difficult as a defense to be able to figure out how to find one place to defend an offense when a quarterback is spreading the ball around as much as Peyton Manning is. It's short, it's deep, it's play action, and he is masterful at every element of it.
Going to have offsetting penalties on the kickoff. Saints offside, holding on the Colts.
Kick again.
And they'll do it again.
That's pretty good numbers, huh? 11 to 13, 100 and some yards, and 3 touchdowns.
What's impressive is you've got 2 passes deep left, 2 passes deep, shallow left, 3 in the middle shallow, 2 in the middle. I mean, it's 2 here, 3 there. It's a great distribution when it comes to picking out where you want to attack a defense.
And the amazing part about it is that he has not hit Reggie Wayne with a pass yet. They've not hit their #1 draft choice, Dallas Clark, with a pass yet. They haven't even thrown to him.
The medical report is in on Brad Pyatt. He has a bruised leg. His return is questionable. And now Walters will drop deep again with 35 seconds on the first half clock. Mitch Berger, one of the best kickers in the league. Walters will let this one go out of the end zone, and they'll take it at the 20. The Colts have been extremely efficient tonight. 4 out of 5 possessions went for scores. The first 2 for touchdowns. The only time they were stopped was a 6-play drive when they had to punt, and they got a touchdown and a field goal out of the next 2. 4 out of 5, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
Defense creating opportunities for them with turnovers.
Especially right at the start of the ball game. They set him up for a short field situation.
And it doesn't look like they're taking a knee either.
You can run 4 plays, and Vanderjack can kick it a mile.
Manning wants the screen. Dominique Rose spins out of 1 tackle of Ashley Ambrose and then thrown down by Kenny Smith.
You know, when talking to Peyton Manning, he just wanted to get the ball to Marcus Pollard because he worked so hard. But look at this. That pass is the only place that Pollard could catch it. Look at this. All of these shots that he's getting across the middle of the field, and Marcus Pollard is catching the ball. He got hit 1 time where he fumbled the ball. He actually didn't make the catch. But Marcus Pollard, you talk about a big target, and a guy that, you know, they're trying to cover with a linebacker that hasn't played that much before.
And really replace Ken Dilger in this offense as a blocking tight end.
Colts are satisfied to go to the locker room with a 24-10 lead. Let's go to Susie with Tony Dungy.
Well, you told us last night that you wondered how the Saints would use their offensive weaponry to come at you. What are your thoughts now?
They've come at us pretty well. We're not playing great defense this first half. We got to get a little more pressure on #2 and see if we can get him out of rhythm a little bit, and we got to tackle McAllister a little better.
You felt that they would bring a lot of pressure and put it on Peyton, but then you could get the big plays. Can you keep that up?
Well, I think they're going to continue to pressure us, and hopefully we can win some of those one-on-ones outside like we've been in the first half.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Susie.
Our score here at the Superdome in New Orleans, Colts 24, Saints 10. Now let's join Chris Berman for the Toyota halftime show.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Tony Dungy, always classy, whether he's leading or behind, and he and the undefeated Colts have the lead, 24-10 over the Saints. So 6 undefeated teams heading into this 4th week of the season. Seattle has a bye. The Colts you're watching tonight. 4 others were in action today. Let's start by looking at the Minnesota Vikings, who are at home against San Francisco. Dante Culpepper hurt. Gus Frerotte throwing like he's a Hall of Famer to Randy Moss. 3 touchdowns, 35-7 the Vikes. They're 4-0. Dante Hall has returned 6 kicks or punts for the Chiefs in his last 9 games. This 96-yarder made them 4-0 as they beat the Ravens in Baltimore 17-10. Next week they'll host Denver, who off their Monday night win played Detroit. Jake Plummer to Shannon Sharp a touchdown, but Joey Harrington to Scotty Anderson, and the Lions shockingly are about to tie the Broncos, except when a team hadn't won on the road since 2000, they don't get the kickoff. The Broncos win 20-16. They're 4-0. Stephen Davis had a 100-yard day, third of the year. The Panthers are 3-0 as they beat Atlanta 23-3. Battle of 2-1s, and Tennessee has Pittsburgh's number. They beat him again, 30-13. Steve McNair, almost perfect. Patriots, Redskins, Skins led 20-3. Tom Brady to Larry Centers down 2017. Lavernius Cole seemingly makes a big catch, but it's ruled not a catch, so the Skins have to punt, but incomplete as Brady. The Skins picked off Brady 3 times. They're 3-1. They win 20-17. Brian Westbrook breaks open a close game, and the Eagles win for the first time this year. This 62-yard run made Philly a 23-13 winner in Buffalo. For Arizona, Emmitt Smith scored his first touchdown as the Cardinals, but Cardinals at St. Louis, pretty much all Rams. Mark Bolger, Torrey Holt caught a dozen, 37-13 the Rams. Byron Leftwich with his first start for Jacksonville. That's Troy Edwards with a fabulous one-handed grab. But after a Leftwich fumble, David Carr and the Texans incomplete with 6 seconds to go, with 2 seconds to go instead of a tying field goal. Dom Capers and Carr go for the touchdown. They win it 24-20 Houston. LaDainian Tomlinson, an almost 200-yard day for winless San Diego as they went up on the Raiders by 2 touchdowns in Oakland. Charlie Garner off to the race to tie it at 31. Sebastian Janikowski, a shot through the uprights good. The Raiders win 34-31 in overtime. Bill Parcells Cowboys in the Meadowlands for the second time this year. Troy Hambrick, touchdown Dallas. Quincy Carter to Antonio Bryant. And the Cowboys beat the Jets 17-6. Parcells has won more games in there this year than the Jets and Giants combined. John Kitna, Chad Johnson, touchdown for the Bengals against Cleveland. Kitna, Reggie Kelly, and Marvin Lewis has his first win as head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. They win at the Browns 21-14.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Get the feeling.
When we return, our halftime heroes, Randy Moss was certainly one of them. And a baseball recap. We get you set for the playoffs. Is that manager Roger Clemens for the Yanks? It was.
Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
24-10, the Indianapolis Colts undefeated lead at the Saints. Our halftime hero segment, we've had fun with these. Dom Capers of the Houston Texans, you don't see this very often. Last year, Mike Tice went for 2 as head coach of the Vikings. It was kind of a lost season. They won a game that most coaches would have gone for 1 and tied a set in overtime. I don't know if they've lost since. Who knows what today's decision by Houston coach Dom Capers might catapult the Texans into as we move on this season. Just their second. There was 9 seconds left. Jacksonville leading Houston 20-17. David Carr incomplete. Now with 6 seconds to go, most would try a field goal on 3rd down because if you botch the snap, you get to kick it. They go for the end zone, but then with 2 seconds to go, they go for the touchdown. So essentially 3 times Dom could have kicked the field goal, but they didn't. Carr scored, and it catapulted the Texans to a 24-20 win. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, Randy Moss caught not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns from Gus Frerotte as the Vikings just lambasted the suddenly struggling Niners 35-7. Steve McNair, is he playing as well as anybody has at quarterback in this league the last few seasons? Look at how strong he is in the pocket. Tennessee and Pittsburgh used to be division rivals. They aren't anymore, although they hooked up in the memorable playoff game last year. And for Pittsburgh, that's a good thing, because with the way McNair is playing, the Titans have now beat the Steelers 10 of the last 12, 4 of the last 5 in Pittsburgh. McNair was 15 of 16. Tennessee didn't turn the ball over at all. They're outgained by a lot by Pittsburgh. But when you don't make mistakes and seemingly all the plays you do are big plays, that's why Steve McNair and the Titans, and not the Steelers after this game, are 3-1. The Pittsburgh Steelers, you'll see it next week at home against the Cleveland Browns. Prime time at 7:30. Our game at 8:30. One of the great rivalries in football, Browns-Steelers from Pittsburgh next Sunday night. When we return, we'll preview the postseason. We'll get you set for the schedule Barry Bonds and the Giants in action on Tuesday.
Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
My cousin told me about a Class 5 this way.
We're gonna take a Class 5 Rapids. Bring it on! All right,
let's do it. If we take a Class 3 and a Class 2, that's like taking a Class 5, right? I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. Absolutely.
It'll get you there. The rest is up to you. The largest, most powerful 4Runner yet.
This is not a playground. This is my business. 2-a-days, the weight room, I need my men to gear up for 4 quarters. Friday night lights, turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Get the dogs in the house. Get the dogs in the house. What time is it?
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Get the feeling.
Well, David Wells was going to win his 200th game, but guess who took him out late in the action? Manager for a day, Roger Clemens. He, of the 310 wins. The Yankees beat the Orioles 3-1. They had the best record in the American League with 101 wins. The Yankees kick off the postseason and the majority of the divisional round on ESPN, starting with the Yankee game, afternoon game, like the old days at Yankee Stadium against the Twins, Mussina against Santana. Then they go Thursday with Pettit and Radke. The Red Sox A series, which is a complete toss-up, starts out west at night on Wednesday with Pedro and Tim Hudson, then knuckleballer Tim Wakefield and Barry Zito on Thursday. The National League will have, with Tony Gwynn and Rick Sutcliffe, yours truly, the Marlins-Giants series, Tuesday and Wednesday at 4 Eastern time. Josh Beckett was great in his last start. Jason Schmidt might win the Cy Young. That's your Game 1 starters. The Cubs and the Braves. How's Kerry Wood against Russ Ortiz sound to you? That's Tuesday, and then Zambrano and Hampton, as the National League is a Tuesday, Wednesday scenario. Hats off to the Detroit Tigers. They won 5 of 6 down the stretch. They played this well. They could have been in the postseason. By beating the Twins 9-4, they end 43-119. They leave the Mets of 1962 and Casey Stengel in the record books at 40-120. Bill Miller won the AL batting title by a point over Manny Ramirez. Nobody in either league at 50 home runs this year, as Delgado's 4-home run game the other night gave him the RBI championship at 145. Albert Pujols won the batting title by .00022 over Todd Helton, who was walked in his last at bat. Jim Thome with 47 homers. Eric Gagne, 55 of 55. He can drive 55 for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 24-10 Indy over New Orleans. Peyton Manning, 3 touchdowns at bat.
This morning on Sunday NFL Countdown.
This is a totally overrated team from the get-go. I think, just as a fan.
Making plays does not win championships. Running the offense does.
Randy Moss doesn't even need work ethic. He can get out of bed and do what he does. What are you doing throwing to Tommy, though? I was wide open deep.
Now what?
You can't keep me quiet either, Boomer. I'm open.
I remember when I was growing up watching you play.
We weren't on TV right now.
Start your NFL Sunday with Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-'em style game. Tackle college or pro football, or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes, including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's fantasy sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
This is a direct response ad. In just 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you about a great product at a great price, and then you're going to pick up the phone and call. Here we go. The Star Super Pack. It's 8 great movie channels with over 400 different movie choices a month. $11.99 or less a month. 1-800-333-DISH. So pick up the phone and get the Star Super Pack, because we've got new hit movies like Red Dragon, The Emperor's Club, and 8 Mile. They're only on Stars. Call now, 1-800-333-DISH, and ask for Stars. That's it, 30 seconds. All right.
Hi, this is Chris Fowler. Follow the nation's best college football teams as they strive for gridiron glory with the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package. ESPN Game Plan will feature more than 100 games from the country's top conferences. And if you sign up, you could win an autographed football from Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, or yours truly. To order ESPN Game Plan on Dish Network season ticket, call 1-800-333-DISH.
Peyton Manning has been on fire in this ballgame. 3 first-half touchdown passes. This one on a spectacular grab by Marvin Harrison. They were up 21-0 on the Saints, who finally got the ground game going with Deuce McAllister. His score near the end of the half pulls them back within 2 touchdowns at 24-10. Welcome back to the Superdome, everybody. Mike Patrick, Paul McGuire, Joe Theismann. Nice to have you with us on a Sunday night for another good ball game. Second half, what are the keys? Obviously, for the Saints, they got to score.
They have to score, but I think the Indianapolis Colts, they have to start running the football and be able to do that in order to get those guys out of that, pass defense.
And I think the Saints have to approach this game like it's 0-0. I don't think they have to start abandoning the run. Deuce McAllister is going to have to be the reason why they're going to get back in this ball game. Control the offensive line, run the football, and then take advantage of taking your shots down the field when they show up for Aaron Brooks.
Well, the run has certainly been the most effective thing they've had. Walters from the 7. With Pyatt out of the game, Walters will handle the duties from here on out to the 23. Let's go to Susie.
Well, Mike, Marvin Harrison has got to be feeling a whole lot better about things tonight. He told me before the game that he was frustrated that he wasn't getting the ball because the perception was he's always double covered. Well, tonight it's been single coverage all the way, and he's making catches like that. The great hands in the end zone. And then, of course, there was the big 79-yard touchdown grab. He and Peyton seem to be back on track. Marvin Harrison delivering. No more frustration tonight. He said he was hungry. They're feeding him.
99 yards and 2 scores in the first half. Ricky Williams opens it running back for the Colts. And he'll get the carry. Breaks 1 tackle, then swallowed up by Grady Jackson at the 28-yard line. And Grady can swallow up some people.
This is the one thing I think that the Colts really have to do. They have to be able to run the ball enough so Peyton Manning can get back and doing play action. And that's where he is at his best. When he runs play action, we saw that one on Marvin Harrison's long touchdown throw as they freeze the linebackers with that play action, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Keep in mind, Edgerrin James not playing tonight with a bad back. They'd love to win this one without him and then have him back healthy. Harrison, oh, what a great fake to get free. Marvin Harrison, 45-yard line and out of bounds.
Now, Marvin Harrison plays only on the right side of the football field. That's a very interesting thing, and I talked to Tom Moore about it. You see him come down, make the move inside catch, now stop and go back. I talked to Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, about why he has Marvin stay on the same side of the field. He said repetition of routes. He said if I move him to the left side and throw 50 to him and 50 on the right, I can get more out of throwing 100 to him on one side. And Peyton gets comfortable with where he is.
Fred Thomas went after him, got a handful of air, and it's a first down at the 45. Williams got a great block. Number 64, Rick DeMulling, came around the corner and annihilated somebody.
Well, that's all you really have to do is if you get that one lineman out front, watch number 64, DeMulling. Here he comes up, watch him turn inside. That's the pancake,
That's
guys.
Roger Knight, number 53.
Well, good night, Roger.
It was 53. Wow. Jeez. What a block by DeMulling, the third-year guard out of Idaho. Williams straight up the gut this time to the 40.
Well, the middle of that Colts offensive line is doing a terrific job. Shulo, Saturday, and DeMulling. The center and 2 guards just creating opportunities for a diminutive Dominique Rhodes.
And they're doing it. Ryan Dean, the right tackle, is out with an ankle injury. He may miss a month, and Adam Meadows is in there for him. The other guys are banged up. But you're right, they're doing a heck of a job. Williams lowers his head, gets to about the 36.
Michael, most of this game I've been watching number 44, their number 1 draft choice, Dallas Clark. And we had a long talk with him yesterday, and he's really kind of funny because he's kind of lost. I mean, you're in a complicated offense. And he said, you know, I know where to line up. And then all of a sudden, Peyton Manning runs an audible. And all I think is, please let me go and be in the right spot. There were a couple times that he went in motion, and Manning said, keep coming, keep going. They have to tell him where to go.
Changing the play as the Saints crowd the line. Now he says, no, forget it. Saints may have been offside. They come on a blitz. Harrison underneath. Taken down from behind at the 26 by Fred Thomas.
I'll tell you, this is tough coverage for Fred Thomas. You got Fred Thomas trying to run with Marvin Harrison clear across the field with absolutely no help.
Doesn't work, does it?
Offside. No. Number 59 defense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Derek Rogers on a blitz and got there too quickly.
All right, look at Fred Thomas, number 22. Marvin Harrison, I mean, he's already 5 yards behind him. Now he's got to try to catch up. He just shows you, Fred Thomas, that he's got pretty good speed, but not right then because he's waiting for Marvin to make a move, and once he does, he's already frozen.
It's the perfect routes to run against a double coverage when it's man underneath with somebody over the top. Don't try and run him up the field into the double coverage. Run him away from the guy that has to press him.
Harrison now 5 catches, 126 yards. Ricky Williams down to the 19. Let's go to Susie.
Well, guys, talking to Fred Thomas before the game, he said what makes it so difficult to try to cover Harrison is that 1-2 punch, that dangerous play-action fake. He said it looks exactly the same, so he can't get a jump. And, of course, he says Marvin is so polished and adding to the challenge. This defense still trying to adjust to one another.
Boy, and it's tough trying to adjust against these guys.
Especially when a guy's running away from you.
Mungro is in at running back, giving Williams a breather. Mungro on the draw, tries to take it outside. There was absolutely nothing there.
Well, this is where you're caught with calling a play. It was like a draw play when your team is blitzing, and there's no way to get out of it. The time is running down. Manning, he's shaking his head. Boy, he gets so mad because, you know, sometimes he would like to just give me the play, let me call it, let me run it.
But that's where he's upset at himself. He saw Derek Rogers, number 59, coming in. Tom Moore had called the play, their offensive coordinator. Peyton has the right, unless he's on the goal line, to check out of any plays at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 8. Blitz coming again. Manning double pumps. Clark overthrow. The rookie was open. Manning hung it up and just a stride too far.
Let me just say something in defense of the New Orleans Saints, their defense. They already have 5 starters out, and then they lose to Bucky Jones, who is not in there, the safety. So now that's 6. And here's Peyton Manning, the Dallas Clark on the outside. That's Bellamy, number 20. I mean, he is open. This ball is thrown a little bit too far.
Vanderjagt will come on. He's already hit from 41. This will be from 42. And Vanderjagt now 12 of 12 this year. And the crowd quieted again as the Colts are up 27-10 over the homestanding Saints.
I'm open over here.
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert? I gotta find this guy.
You're Mr. Goodwrench.
Yep.
Which means you use genuine GM parts.
Well, actually, we all do.
Now you're just trying to throw me. Mr. Goodwrench had over 1 million hours of GM training last year?
That's right.
Doesn't leave much time for Mrs. Goodwrench now, does it?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
If Mr. Goodwrench were a tool, what kind of tool would he be?
A wrench?
Oh, sorry, miter saw is what we were looking for. Miter saw.
A man once lifted 620 pounds with his teeth. 1 in 20 people have an extra rib. Miller Lite has 70% fewer carbs than Michelob Light. Amazing, huh? Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
Applebee's Take Two is back.
It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Make a dream come true.
Choose 2 of your favorite entrees for 1 mouth-watering plate. Eating good in the neighborhood.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 38. And GM Goodwrench, home of Mr. Goodwrench, the one and only GM expert.
They make $950 million a year off of Mardi Gras here in New Orleans, 500,000 visitors.
600,000 off of alcohol and the rest off of little trinkets like that.
Beads.
Beads.
Bandage to kick to Lewis. Boy, the Colts have looked terrific tonight. Lewis from the 3. Got a good block on the outside. Just tripped up as he got to the 25. Jim Nelson with a saving tackle, and Lewis is down. We'll check on him when we come back.
Access NFL.com Field Pass and listen to live radio broadcasts of over 200 NFL games. Get your Field Pass today, only on NFL.com.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-'em style game. Tackle college or pro football or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's fantasy sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
This is a direct response ad. In just 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you about a great product at a great price, and then you're going to pick up the phone and call. Here we go. The Star Super Pack. It's 8 great movie channels with over 400 different movie choices a month. $11.99 or less a month. 1-800-333-DISH. So pick up the phone and get the Star Super Pack because we've got new hit movies like Red Dragon, The Emperor's Club, and 8 Mile. They're only on Stars. Call now, 1-800-333-DISH, and ask for Stars. That's it, 30 seconds. All right.
Lewis very slowly to his feet and leaving the field.
Michael Lewis takes a shot that's going to make him slowly leave the field.
Hit below the belt.
Yeah, he's up. He's moving.
Hallmark does not have a card for that one. Deuce McAllister has been the bright spot for the Saints tonight. 81 yards on 15 carries. Remember last week, he only carried the ball 11 times in the entire game and had 8 yards net.
And I still think he has to carry the football, and he's done most of his damage right up the middle, which is the place to attack this defense with the corners up and the safeties back. And what the Saints do is they have to be able to run the football effectively there to try and get that one-on-one coverage outside to their wide receivers and get the big plays.
Still plenty of time, of course, with 9:20 to go third quarter. Brooks under pressure. Ball's loose. The Colts force another turnover. Marcus Washington came on the blitz, and Aaron Brooks got drilled.
Marcus Washington, I'm going to tell you something. Aaron Brooks did not even see him, and he's hurting. You can see him grimacing now. But to his right, and here's a right-handed quarterback, but looking off to the right-hand side. Brooks is looking left, and nobody even touched him. I mean, he just unloaded. Not only did he knock him down, knock the ball loose, but watch who gets the ball. Washington.
Well, Tony
Boy,
Dungy,
what a shot.
Tony Dungy preaches to this defense, we want 3 turnovers a game. That's their goal, 3 turnovers a game.
And did you see the hit? Perfectly legal shoulder right in the face. Dominique Rhodes, the running back. They've used 3 tonight, and Rhodes taken down in the backfield. Again, it's Grady Jackson who's had a good night from that tackle spot.
Well, you remember when Susie was talking to Tony Dungy at the half when they were walking off and, everything's going fine, and Tony said, we're not playing defense very well. We're not stopping Deuce McAllister. We're not getting to the quarterback. We're not doing all these things. And what do they do on the very first play on defense? Get a fumble.
There's another starter. Kenny Smith limps off. They've lost to Bucky Jones tonight. That would be 7 starters off this defense unavailable.
Exactly the way they started the ball game with the turnover, the Saints.
Manning under some pressure. Screen. Rhodes waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown.
Boy, I'll tell you what, you talk about the perfect call, and there was, he got excellent blocking on the outside, but once he caught the ball, there was nobody for Rhodes to even look at. He could have actually walked in.
The 4th touchdown pass of the night for Peyton Manning, 2 set up by the defense.
Well, look at this. Look at when Rhodes gets it. They're all sealed off to the inside. That was Jeff Saturday, the center, that got out in front, and it's over.
And what happens, we've seen Marvin Harrison run those slants and across the field so many times. He just takes Fred Thomas with him. He doesn't even have to block him, and nobody's out there. Not a linebacker, not a safety to try and cover Dominic Rhodes.
Well, this will serve notice to the rest of the National Football League. The Indianapolis Colts have a defense. You'd better be careful. 34-10, Colts over the Saints.
Mr. Goodwrench, I will find you. Let me get this straight. He does brake work.
Yep.
Diagnostics.
Yep.
Wheel alignments.
Yep.
Root canal.
Yep.
Gotcha. And he replaced your tires.
Sure did.
Oh, that's good melon. So he diagnosed your truck with some sort of high-tech GM gizmo.
Yes.
And you got a good look at him?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
Do I smell pancakes?
Honey.
The one and only Docker Stain Defender.
Can you hear me now? Good. 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 Can you hear me now? Good.
To make the best national network even better, we'll do just about anything. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
From executive producer Danny DeVito, easily the season's coolest new show.
I'm a Marshall.
I love Karen. Gugino sizzles in the role. First rate, watch Karen Sisco.
I like catching the bad guys.
Karen Sisco premieres ABC Wednesday, 10/9 Central.
8:24 to go, third quarter. The Colts bombing away 34-10 over the Saints. And the injuries continue to pile up. Aaron Brooks is not hurt, although he may certainly be shaken after that last blitz where he fumbled. But they have lost 2 more starters on defense, and Michael Lewis is not back on this kick return. This is Fred McAfee. And McAfee, as the flag goes down to the 21.
Dominic Rhodes may have gotten a touchdown, but watch what happens. Deuce McAllister's going to go in motion this way. You're going to see Aaron Brooks just focus out that way, and what you're going to see is Marcus Washington come and just nail Aaron Brooks. Deuce goes in motion. Number 26 goes to the left. There's the signal by the outside backer, number 53. Steps up to the line, said there's nobody here to block me. I just think I'll go get Aaron Brooks. And that's exactly what he does.
That still hurts.
I mean, when you have a back leaving, you've got to be able to see what's going on. Aaron never really looked to the right at all. And that's where trouble came from.
He'll look to the right next time.
Check again. Hey, it worked once, do it again.
Now the Saints push back inside their 10. Brooks throws underneath to Conwell. He's out to the 20. The Colts defense so far has done a brilliant job against the pass. They've held everybody under 200 yards. Look what they did with McNair at 138. He's been brilliant all year. They've given up 182, 138, 122. Tonight, only 95. Brooks tosses this one out in the flat. And that'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down.
You know, the thing about it is when you lose all of the people that they've lost on defense, then you lose your kick returner. And 2 kickoff returns so far for the Saints have been holding penalties. It puts them back in the hole. But again, I agree with Joe before, and it's still time with 7.5 minutes. You really can't get out of your game plan. You still have to kind of stay with what you were doing.
Well, what they're going to do on offense is they're now going to spread the field, and the Colts are going to sit back and say, we're just going to be a bend, don't break style. If you want to catch it inbounds, then we'll let the clock keep running. You want to get those, you want to get 4 or 5 first downs to try and get into field goal range, that's fine. Once they get down around the 25-yard line, if the Saints can push the ball that far, then I think the Colts will become a more pressured defense again.
First down, Saints at their own 36, coming up on the 7-minute mark, third quarter. Here comes the blitz. And Brooks unloads high, intended for Stallworth. And he was covered very well out there by Walt Harris.
Walt Harris has done a good job. I mean, Nick Harper and Walt Harris have given him the cover. Really, they're covered corners if they need to be. They're a little bit of a unique combination. You want the good tackling corners, which they can do when you have the double zone, the 2-deep defense, so the corners can support. They're like linebackers outside. But yet they have to be able to go one-on-one in instances when they want to blitz.
Showing blitz again. Drop out of it, come with a 4-man rush. Brooks can't find anybody. Now he does. Conwell again. Bashir makes the tackle. Conwell down to the 32.
I'll tell you what, Mike Doss, number 20, who is the rookie, he comes up to Chuck Conwell on the left-hand side, and he just, look at Conwell, goes right down the middle. There is absolutely no one on him. Now you see Doss 20 trying to catch up from behind. They let Conwell go right down the middle. Brooks sees him, throws it. There is nobody there.
Deuce hit in the backfield. David Thornton again.
There was the case now. They've sat back and waited. This time they came with the safety and the linebacker right where Deuce was trying to run.
This David Thornton, you can set up a defense any way you want and say, okay, you're going to have all these opportunities. But when you get the opportunity, you have to make the plays, and he has.
And we're going with a no huddle, the Saints are.
Conwell has caught the last 4 passes.
That one was Boo Williams
to him. And Boo Williams, the other tight end, makes only his 2nd grab of the year. Remember, Conwell had dropped the first 3 thrown to him, caught the last 4 for 61 yards. He's been an integral part of the offense.
And every series that they have inside the 30-yard line are all 4-down series now for the Saints. I don't care if there's only 5.5 minutes to go in the third. They still have to score touchdowns and not field goals.
Brooks for Stallworth. No flag. He wanted one, but it looked like Walt Harris just stuck the hand in there and knocked it away.
That the floater? That looks like a floater. I'm going to tell you, Aaron Brooks, they had Stallworth, had him beat. Look at this. Stallworth's got him beat down the sideline. That's Walt Harris. And this ball floats. And when it floats, Stallworth has to wait. He still should have made the catch.
Absolutely.
This ball hits him in the hands. Look at this.
There's no... Walt Harris doesn't get his hands in the way. Now, Dante Stallworth has had real problems. He dropped 6 in the first game of the season.
Boy, and the fans hate this decision. The field goal team is on.
Critical fumble last week by Dante Stallworth. Now he drops an opportunity for a big play. Could be a touchdown.
Carney for the field goal. 34-13. They are still down by 3 touchdowns. And I don't think the fans approved of that choice one little bit.
Welcome Welcome back to NFL Football on Parade.
Up next, the young guns.
Aaron Brooks, David Carr, Dante Culpepper, Byron Leftwich.
Are they wearing chaps?
Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Old Spice. Sundays at 11 on ESPN.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-em style game. Tackle college or pro football or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's Fantasy Sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
Introducing Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100, the convenient way to get what you want when you want it, like local and national 5-day forecasts and current weather conditions, late-breaking news and entertainment buzz, account information, and the power to pay your bill or add programming. Even get the latest sports scores and much more. Dish Home Interactive TV is free and easy to use. Just use your remote control from the comfort of your couch. So don't wait around. Get the information you want. Tune to Channel 100 right now.
The ring's getting heavier, Sam.
A new power is rising.
It is an army bred to destroy the world of men.
How did it come to this?
Your friends are with you, Aragorn.
The defenses have to hold.
They will hold.
The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Colts on top late third quarter, 34-13 from the Dome in New Orleans.
Michael, this is from the old say what deal. The Saints are leading in more plays, more time of possession, more rushing yards, and they're down by 21 points.
But they're losing in field position.
And turnovers.
I mean, yeah, and turnovers. The Colts have started on 25 yards and in.
With Pyatt injured, Walters remains in as the kick returner. And takes it up to the 28-yard line. Peyton Manning has already tied a career high for touchdown passes with 4. The club record is 5. Will he get it?
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert? I gotta find this guy. You're Mr. Goodwrench.
Yep.
Which means you use genuine GM parts.
Well, actually, we all do.
Now you're just trying to throw me. Mr. Goodwrench had over 1 million hours of GM training last year?
That's right.
Doesn't leave much time for Mrs. Goodwrench now, does it?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
If Mr. Goodwrench were a tool, what kind of tool would he be?
A wrench?
Oh, sorry. Miter saw is what we were looking for. Miter saw.
Philips Television. Life should be so real.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Life's little expenses. Another good reason to keep your car around. That's why 75,000 miles switched to Valvoline's Max Life. Its added ingredients help prevent wear on critical parts.
Hello, gorgeous girl.
At 75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
David meets Goliath as the gritty twins face the storied New York Yankees. Then the surprising Marlins have a date with Barry Bonds and the mighty Giants. The Division Series is on Tuesday at 1 and 4 on ESPN.
Trolleys are a great way to get around New Orleans. They'll go everywhere, take you on tours of the historic district. That's the Garden District, all the beautiful homes.
Let me ask you a question.
How would you know?
When was the last time you were on a trolley down there?
When was the last time you left your room?
5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Took a tour of the Garden District, all the great homes downtown.
Wasn't when you were doing a game.
No. Peyton Manning down the middle. Harrison can't get there, nearly picked off. Let's go, Susie, with Edgerrin James.
Well, Mike, Edgerrin's sitting out with a sore back. What's the prognosis for your return?
Well, you know, we're taking it day by day. It's one of those situations where I didn't want to take the medicine and just force it like I did last year. Last year I got out there when I probably shouldn't have been out there and just kept, just hurting myself. This year, I talked to Coach Dungy and say, when I'm not able to go out and be 100%, it's all right to take off because, we got a bunch of backs here.
How is the knee? 2 years off of ACL surgery.
Oh, the knee's not a concern right now. Now I just got to get the back together and, get out there and do what I'm supposed to do.
What's been the difference in the philosophy of this offense? We've always heard about the triplets. Now that you have such a dependable defense.
Well, we got a lot of players on our offense now, and everybody look at us, but, we got the 2 tight ends, and we have Reggie that's coming along. And now we can, we can play. We can just go out, we can be aggressive, or we can just go out and play physical. We can do whatever, and then we have a defense that backs us now.
You've always been a guy who's marched to the beat of your own drum. How has Tony Dungy's presence kind of changed your outlook on the rest of your career?
Well, Coach Dungy, he's a player's coach, and Coach Dungy, if you go to him with something and it makes sense, he's going to give you your way, and if it doesn't make sense, he's going to give you a good reason for you not to get your way, and that's understandable.
Edge, thanks. We'll see you back soon.
All right, thanks.
3rd and short. Dominic Rhodes bobbles the ball, gets it back, and takes off into the secondary across midfield. 1st down, Colts.
What a great spin move.
And Edgerrin James, I mean, he's up there with the greats in his first 55 career games. Yards from scrimmage, trailing only Eric Dickerson. He's gained nearly 7,000 yards. And in those 55 career games, he has 27 100-yard games out of 55. And he said the funniest thing, when he injured his ACL and everybody says it takes 2 years to come back full speed, he says, I can do it in a year. He says, you know what? They said it takes 2 years. It takes 2 years. Manning, play action. Throws sideline, and that's the first grab tonight for New Orleans native Reggie Wayne.
Well, I'll tell you, old Reggie Wayne just went downfield and turned Ashley Ambrose around. I mean, he had no chance on this play. Watch this move on the outside to Ashley Ambrose, number 33. Boom, he fakes him to the post, turns. Is that open?
It's funny, we're talking to Reggie. He said, you ask him why he's having so much success this year. He said it was on him to get better. Peyton was waiting for him to be the disciplined receiver and work with him. Now he's there.
Rhodes, boy, a lot of room to run. The defensive line has just disappeared. And now flag down at the end of the play.
And Marcus Pollard, number 81, has become their blocking tight end. And boy, does he just ride the linebacker out down the field about 6 yards. Good job by the big tight end, the big blocker.
I mean, these running backs have been turning the corners, no one there.
Number 81, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Told you, great job.
First down.
Look, he's going to go say, what? Hey,
sorry.
No, watch.
It's a great job of blocking.
Good job. And
holding.
Lock up on, look at that. See, what you do is you get up under the shoulder pads on Roger Knight and you hang on. I don't know.
He's got the hands inside. That's supposed to be legal.
You could see the hand get up underneath and grab onto the shoulder pad, too. I personally think it was a great block.
I know you do.
Because I was talking about it.
That's right.
Manning, Wayne makes the catch down to the 34-yard line.
One other thing about Edgerrin. Now, if this game were near the end of the season and they needed this football game, Edgerrin James could have played in this football game.
Sure.
And Tony Dungy even told us yesterday, unless he is absolutely 100%, there is no reason to play him because of all the people we have in the backfield.
He talked about not wanting to do the same things he did last year and create the problem. 989 yards rushing, 61 catches last year on a leg and a half.
Second and 7. Manning down the middle. Harrison, touchdown!
What a catch, what a throw.
What and everything, and there is a flag down in the backfield.
They're going to call this one back.
Maybe Marcus Pollard again. He's really upset. So is Adam Meadows. But what a throw. What a grab by Harrison.
Hey, the one thing Marcus Pollard better do is keep the chin strap on and keep the helmet on.
Oh, no. They're calling personal foul, roughing the passer.
And that's what Peyton Manning was lobbying for.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 94. Penalty will be enforced on the kickoff, 15 yards. Touchdown is good.
That's defensive end Charles Grant. Another catch for Harrison. And for Peyton Manning, 5 touchdown passes, ties a club record, which is not held by Johnny Unitas. It's co-owned by Gary Quazzo and Gary Hogaboo. Not Johnny U, but now Peyton Manning's on that list.
18 of 22, 5 touchdowns. And Marvin Harrison says, look, I just went up the field. You threw it. Nice job.
He has more touchdown passes, 5, than he has incompletions, 4. What an unbelievable night for Peyton Manning. And a coming out party for the Indianapolis Colts as they are killing the Saints.
What a catch by Marvin Harrison on this play. There's the old play action now. He's thrown back to Reggie Wayne. Now he looks down. Look up the field. There it is. Fred Thomas trying to just catch up to him.
Well, here's the play fake. Look at the ball. The New Orleans Saints, they all see the ball. Now that freezes the linebackers.
He just reaches back over his shoulder and makes the play. What a terrific pair of hands.
You know, Randy Moss makes it look easy. So does this guy.
Now two very different types. One guy, you're talking about a 6-foot receiver and a 6'5" receiver. Both of them gifted when it comes to being able to get the ball.
First 3 games, Marvin Harrison really not up to his standards. 134 yards on 16 grabs. He has more yards tonight than he did in the first 3 contests. He had told Peyton Manning earlier in the week, I'm hungry. What do you do when a guy's hungry? And Peyton would always say, feed him.
Well, I have him in my fantasy football pick.
Good move.
You have Peyton too?
I have both of them.
Well, you're in.
I happen, but I'm not in there.
My luck, I had edge.
Wow.
Saints defense trying to figure out what's going on. Rick Venturi, their defensive coordinator, and Jim Haslett talked about trying to get some pressure. And there's Haslett on the left, Venturi on the right. I think he's saying, how can you leave Fred Thomas alone?
And this one will go out of the end zone. Tuesday, the Major League Baseball postseason begins with a doubleheader on ESPN. First, 1 Eastern, Twins and Yankees beat in Game 1 of the AL Division Series. Then at 4 Eastern, the Marlins take on the Giants in Game 1 of the National League Division Series. You get a chance to see Barry Bonds in action. Here's all he did in the postseason a year ago. Hit .356 with 8 homers, which was a Major League Baseball postseason record, and had 16 driven in.
I think he's the best pure hitter in the game. I know Albert Pujols has really smacked it around well, but
maybe nobody has ever turned on a ball the way Barry Bonds has. And he just seems to get better with age.
This is Spencer Falau, who just
prior to the snap, false start. Number 71 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And the fans that are remaining are becoming increasingly restless.
Those aren't fans, Michael. Those are colored seats.
And Jim Haslett, the head coach of the Saints, is thinking now, where do we go from here?
Well, first we go to 1-3, which is a horrible start considering all the guys you still have on the sideline on the injury list.
You know, I go back to the preseason when we sat there and talked to these guys, and they were so positive about their football team.
Right.
Really. I mean, they were really enthusiastic. Aaron Brooks, I mean, he's been throwing the ball better than he's ever thrown the football. Deuce Staley is running with the ball pretty well. And they thought, well, you know, we're a pretty good football team. And this is not an excuse. It's fact. You lose 5 people. Deuce McAllister, I'm sorry. Deuce Staley. Deuce McAllister. Look at this.
Intercepted.
Jim Nelson gets his second interception of the ball game.
And that one was wrapped up like a Christmas present. Hit him right in the chest.
I mean, this ball was thrown to Nelson.
Well, he was open.
Unfortunately, I have been where ball games. You still have another quarter to play, son. You've got to go out and do it again. Nelson just dropped back. He's trying to get the ball to Ernie Conwell in the middle of the football field. All Nelson's doing is backing up and looking where Brooks is looking and following the ball. Then does a good, whoa, fumbles it and then bounces right back. Even the bounces are going the Colts' way.
And the turnovers have all come deep in Saints territory. Second pick tonight for the 3-year man out or 5-year man out of Penn State. And Peyton Manning will use a timeout with 59 seconds to go, third quarter. And Joe mentioned, you know, that he had been in this spot as a quarterback. Every quarterback from the best to the worst has had to endure stuff like this. Is there anything you really learned in this situation? Or you just hope it gets over with as fast as possible?
What you do is you drop back and try and complete passes. I mean, as far as learning goes, no, because they're going to play a soft defense. Your guys are going to have to run routes. You have to get them in and out of the huddle and keep the pressure on your own offense. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Let's not let down. Don't look at the score. Let's just make plays, make catches, and protect.
And, Paul, when you played linebacker and you had a lead like this and you're playing defense, you're just out there trying to kill somebody, aren't you?
No, actually, what we did is we just got your backups in there and went and sat down.
No, you weren't out there, were you?
No, I'll tell you what, it's just, if you're in a situation like the Colts defense is, they can, if they really wanted to, they could tee off and just go after Aaron Brooks. That last play that he threw the interception, he was forced to throw earlier than he wanted to.
Manning throwing for Mungro out of the backfield, and he was covered very well by Derek Rogers.
Peyton Manning had 5 touchdowns. There's the first one, Ricky Williams. Perfect throw. Now Marvin Harrison, one-handed, two-handed catch. Let's turn around and throw another one to Marvin Harrison. This time he runs a lot more with. Then a little dump to Dominique Rhodes on a screenplay and nobody there. And why not? One more time to Marvin Harrison. Let him just show you how good a hands he has.
Last quarterback in this league to throw 6 touchdown passes was Mark Rippon in 1991. Wayne, oh, what a block by Mungro. Oh. Came out of the backfield. The Colts have really thrown some blocks tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is set up so beautifully because what Mungro does on Derek Rogers, watch it, look at Rogers is looking to make the play. Bam! You're down. I mean, that is just perfect timing.
You've got to love the design of that play. If the back gets there in time, that really works.
Everything the Colts are doing is working.
303 yards passing for Peyton Manning. He's 19 out of 24. 3rd and 3 here. Pump fake, looks to the end zone, throws, touchdown, Clark. A club record, 6 touchdown passes for Peyton Manning.
Do you know that Peyton Manning was going to throw this ball to Dallas Clark no matter what? He was sitting there waiting on him to clear. He looks at him right off the bat, and Dallas Clark is on your right-hand side. He has a little bit of trouble getting off the line. Now watch Peyton wait on him. He waits, he waits, he waits, and then when Dallas Clark shifts across the end zone, he just hits him with it. Watch this. Rogers checks him there. Peyton wants to throw. Look at him looking at him. The entire time, that was the guy he's going to throw the ball to.
The first touchdown of Dallas Clark's professional career and the 6th touchdown pass tonight for Peyton Manning. He has been letter perfect. What a homecoming. And as we told you, Mark Rippon, the last guy to do it all the way back in 1991. And we still have 15 minutes and 4 seconds to go in this game. He's got a shot at a couple of more.
I think Tom Moore's going to let Brock Heward play a little bit. Their backup now. I think
that'd be a good idea.
Well, you know, Archie's looking at, watching this thing. The only quarterback in Saints history selected to the Pro Bowl. Had a chance to. Archie was a contemporary of mine. We played in the Hula Bowl together. Played with a plate in his forearm. In his left forearm. He broke it in college, came to the Hula Bowl and played with a plate in his arm.
Can I tell you something about Archie? I met Archie a long time ago. Archie Manning. When he was playing with the Saints, they almost killed him. I think they broke almost every bone in his body. And he's playing in the final game of the year, and they have a losing season. He has a chance to go to the Super Bowl and pick up money in the speaking engagement. I don't really know the exact amount of money, but I know it was a lot. The final play of the game, they are getting hammered. The final play of the game, they broke his jaw.
No, they couldn't talk.
No, now he can't talk, so he has to give up the speaking engagement on top of it. A losing season, they break his jaw and he can't talk.
Yeah. It was one cruelty after another here in New Orleans for Archie Manning, who was such a good quarterback and such a tough guy. Fred McAfee on the return and only gets it back to the 11-yard line. Mercifully for the Saints, the third quarter comes to an end, but we still have the fourth quarter to go.
Monday Night Countdown delivered by UPS, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Smooth Reese's peanut butter, creamy milk chocolate. Get lost in a Reese's.
Miller Lite is half the carbs of Bud Light. Miller Lite is a third less carbs than Coors Light. Miller Lite is the gold medal winner of the World Beer Cup. Now that's great taste, less filling.
If you don't use fuel to clear your head, if you've never had a Sunday ride extend through Tuesday, if the only thing that wanders is your mind, get out of the way. The all-new Suzuki SV1000S.
There's a fine line between pleasure and pain. Your muscles will let you know when you've crossed it. Introducing new 8-Hour from Tylenol with 2 layers. One that's fast, one that lasts. All day, 1 dose. New 8-Hour from Tylenol. Because when you push your muscles this hard, you're gonna need pain relief that lasts this long. 8-Hour. It's the new Tylenol for muscle pain.
Coach Dunge's blueprint for a defense is execution, expectation. No excuses. No explanations. He has a certain way, trust. Get us fired up. Seems like everything he says explosive is going to happen. Welcome to future. You may not know who we are. But after tonight, you will. Play for me. 1, 2, 3. Play for me.
The Colts defense has certainly done their job tonight, even though they've given up 13 points. 3 takeaways that resulted in 3 quick touchdowns.
He said he wasn't happy at halftime with the defense.
Well, he got upset with him.
Saints taking over from the 11. McAllister straight up the middle and a lot of room to run to the 31-yard line. Adrees Bashir makes the tackle. The defensive line during timeouts has started to bounce around, dance, and they've been doing this kind of thing all year. They call it getting crunked. It means having fun, letting your hair down. And as Paul, who was our hip-hop expert, explained to me, it's a combination of things done by Dr. Dre, P. Diddy, and 50 Cent.
Well, 50's my favorite, but I'll tell you what, when I was playing years and years ago, which was, no one even remembers that, but I used to get crunked after almost every game.
No, that started with another letter.
Huh?
That started with another letter, not C.
It was crunked.
Yeah.
Well, it was
crocked.
From the 31, 2nd and 10 for Brooks. Under pressure, hit from behind, lost the ball. Here they go again. Dwight Freeney with the touchdown. Are you kidding?
Boy, every Saint player is going to want to close their eyes and wake up and hope this was just a nightmare.
The bags are back. 54-13.
You know what I'm going to tell you now? People are watching this thing, and all right, here's Aaron Brooks, and when he goes back to throw, watch the ball just come out. It gets knocked out by his own lineman.
I think it just slipped out, Paul. I think when he started to take it back, he taps it with his left hand, and it just slides right out. And Freeney, as the ball has bounced tonight, goes right up into his stomach, and he goes on in. And he was questionable in this ball game. They weren't sure whether he was going to play or not.
A 19-yard touchdown return for Dwight Freeney, who had such a great rookie year. 13 sacks at a team record, only 1.5 sacks off the all-time rookie record.
Somebody's got to feel this. Somebody's got to feel this. Somebody's got to Wasn't told, but he was a fan. They drop things on his back and lie. They couldn't stop Jack or the waters lapping. And they couldn't prevent Jack from being happy. And the wind goes round.
He's getting ready. He's pumped. Now you've got to see your Bridgestone retailer during the Bridgestone Nationwide Tire Drive. Buy 4 advanced technology Bridgestone Dueler tires for your SUV or light truck and get a free Casio color TV. He's ready. Now it's your turn to get moving. The Bridgestone Nationwide Tire Drive ends October 4th. Call 1-877-TIRE-USA today.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold, down, easy, and Hummer. Check out the new H2 at Hummer.com. Hummer, like nothing else.
The crown jewel of the New Orleans skyline, the Superdome. Host of so many Super Bowls. And a super performance tonight.
By the visitors.
Yes. McAfee from the 2. Belted down at the 21. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, opponents have noticed how much fun this Colts D is having, and even mild-mannered Tony Dungy is all for it. He says despite guys like Eddie George and Fred Taylor saying they're celebrating too much, Tony says they're not trying to show anybody up, they're just having fun, and he likens it back to when he was a rookie playing for the Steelers. Their locker room at Three Rivers was right next door to the Pirates, and Willie Stargell, the big-hitting first baseman, brought him into their locker room. They were having fun, playing cards, the music was on, they're eating chicken. Dungy thought, well, football's not like this, but Stargell said to him, in all his days, he never heard an umpire say, work ball. No, it's play ball, and he says, my guys are playing ball and having fun.
And Susie, even though it's a very serious business, the guys that are having fun playing ball seem to be the ones that are most successful.
Yeah, when you score 55, you can have some fun.
Franchise record is 58 points. With coaches who have made their debut since 1970 in the National Football League, Tony Dungy's teams, as a head coach, have given up fewer points than anybody. Bill Cowher is second on that list. But there are certain guys, and we have seen it, people go from team to team, whether they're coordinators or head coaches. You know it's going to work. It's only a matter of time. There are some guys that just know how to do it.
Well, the one thing I like about Tony Dungy is when he took over this football team, it's still his defense. And that's the thing that's installed here. He may be the head coach, but he runs this defense.
Todd Bauman is in at quarterback as they get Aaron Brooks out of there.
One other thing I just want to say about the Colts, when you're looking at these 55-13, you know, what do they do? I like what they're doing. I mean, he threw another touchdown pass. They are not sitting on a 55-13 lead. I like the way they're going after this football team. You know, a lot of teams, they get ahead and then they kind of slow it down, they slow the pace down. They're not doing that offensively or defensively.
They are not taking their foot off the pedal.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't believe those 7 people in the end zone are booing.
Well, you know, it's the right thing for the Saints. You put Bauman in, you sit down Aaron Brooks. He's seen enough things have happened to him. You let Kajana Carter play a little bit. You protect Deuce. What's going to happen now for the Saints is their next 7 opponents are NFC opponents. They hope to get Jonathan Sullivan back, their big #1 tight end. Defensive tackle. They hope to get Dale Carter back in the next week or so, which will help this defense out a little bit and take some of the pressure off the offense.
Fenderson now running back. Bauman sidearms this one across the middle. Cheers go up from the crowd as the catch is made by Ernie Conwell, who after that horrible start has had a good night.
You know what's interesting? Now the Indianapolis Colts, you know what they're playing next week, don't you?
They get a very rested ball club, don't they?
Yeah, they go
Tampa Bay.
Bay. Right. Now this is, remember now, Tony Dungy coached the defense and was the head coach at Tampa Bay.
I think they're different under Monty Kiffin. I really do. I think Monty has inserted his own personality in what Tampa does defensively. Of course, they have Simeon Rice, who's been added since Tony's left as well.
This one's caught by Joe Horn.
I think you made a very good point about men who can just coach this game. Bill Parcells is another one that comes to mind. The job he did with New England, the job he did with the Giants,
right?
The job he's doing now in Dallas with what everybody thought was a team that would struggle tremendously. You look at different coaches, and it's almost their presence on the sidelines that will victories for them. I thought Mike Ditka was like that as well.
Yeah.
Not what Joe Horn envisioned as a productive night.
Not what anybody in black and gold envisioned. And this one is overthrown to the sideline for Kajana Carter. Joe Horn wired for Sunday Night Football.
I want it first. We want it first. Let's go, Cat. Let's go, team. Yeah, I'm all right. Soldier, baby. Hey, this might be one of the greatest comeback, man. I'm telling you, we can come back wrong. It's all on us, man. Gee whiz. Gee.
Well, you can see the optimism just drain out of Joe Horn and everybody else. Carter, the former #1 pick of the Cincinnati Bengals, who has had injury problems his entire career, knocked out by Doss.
But what you had a chance to hear from Joe Horn was the way a game can go for a player.
Yep.
Great expectations to frustration. But Kajana Carter has experienced all those emotions, been in and out of the league, in and out of ball games. He is added to this ball club now as a reserve back.
When coming out of college, he had such great skills.
The expectations for him were just through the roof.
Where you wind up. How about the Cincinnati Bengals talking about a ball club? Congratulations to Marvin Lewis. They got their first one.
And it won't be the last for Marvin Lewis. There's another one of those guys.
Oh, no.
Carter gets outside. This is going to be a hold on the corner. And that's going to be the fullback, Terrell Smith, as he grabbed a hold of Cliff Crosby and just turned him around.
You know, those are the ones that always get caught because you're out in the middle of the field. Jim Nass is thinking, well, all right, what else could happen? I'd duck because there's a whole lot of things.
There's not much left.
No.
They've had injuries. They've given up 55 points.
Okay,
they turned the ball over.
I'm not going to make excuses for Jim, but when you bring in guys and rebuild the defense to make it bigger and faster, and 5 of those guys who spend mini camps, training camps, and teaching sessions with you don't play through the first part of the season, it's difficult to stay with a team like the Colts who are firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball.
Well, you said you're not going to make excuses, but I think that is a legitimate excuse for anybody. You lose 5 of 11 starters, and then they lost 2 more guys tonight off that starting defensive 11. And here is the list. Bucky Jones hurt, Wayne Gandy on offense, Michael Lewis, their great kick returner, had a groin injury, and Kenny Smith limped off with a knee. So now you have 7 guys not projected as starters who are starting for a defensive football team. Nobody can overcome that.
You know, the other thing too, Michael, when you talk about all of these guys that are injured, nobody around the league cares. I mean,
That's right.
There's no reason to complain about it because nobody cares.
Fenderson underneath on the check down from Bauman.
Because you take a look at the teams we're going through. The Philadelphia Eagles lost, what, 3 or 4 guys in their defense, all pro guys.
Every year it happens to somebody.
Yes, it does. And you just can't plug a guy in, which you hope your backup people, the reason that they're backup people, because they're not starters.
That's right.
So you're hoping that you can plug a guy in for maybe 1 or 2 games, Joe, until you can get your starter back on the field.
Problem is when you're trying to fish so many holes.
Oh, man.
And the question now for the Saints will be, can they survive and stay in the hunt till they get some guys back? Pathan, touchdown from Bauman.
You know, I want to say Jerome Pathan right here did what a pro does. You're getting beat 55-19. He just caught a touchdown pass. You don't see a big celebration. It's like, okay, I caught one. Let's just move on with this thing. Bauman rockets this thing, got an arm.
Well, they're going to go for 2 here. And this is a great throw and a great catch. They're going to go for 2 here. So they need to score 27 more times and then go for 2.
You know, Joe, when you point out that there's no celebration from Pathan, guys that celebrate, and it's just that situation are all about themselves and not their team. Bauman throws sidearm, and that's Fenderson. They got the two-point conversion.
I think he threw a curve that time. I think it was either a slider or a curve. I wasn't sure.
Well, the baseball playoffs are starting Tuesday night on ESPN.
Tonight on SportsCenter, can the Lakers shelter Kobe? A conversation with Coach Phil Jackson. Randy Moss out to prove he's the best receiver in the NFL. And Chris Berman's top 10 plays of the week. SportsCenter after the game.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-'em style game. Tackle college or pro football or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's Fantasy Sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
Introducing Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100, the convenient way to get what you want when you want it. Like local and national 5-day forecasts and current weather conditions, late-breaking news and entertainment buzz, account information, and the power to pay your bill or add programming. Even get the latest sports scores and much more. Dish Home Interactive TV is free and easy to use. Just use your remote control from the comfort of your couch. So don't wait around. Get the information you want. Tune to Channel 100 right now.
Playing this month on Dish On Demand pay-per-view.
How am I going to find you?
I'll find you.
Daredevil.
You know I'm innocent.
No, I don't.
Why make it look like a murder? Why frame an innocent man?
The Life of David Gale.
My sister followed the murderer to London. This country blows.
Shanghai Nights. Take a break from routine TV. Order a pay-per-view movie from Dish On Demand.
This is what the guys in our truck are seeing as they produce tonight's telecast for ESPN High Definition. It is a stunning picture, a wider view, clarity 5 times that of regular TV. We'll have our Sunday night game next week in Pittsburgh in high def, as well as next Saturday night's college football game between Tennessee and Auburn. ESPN HD, available nationwide. You've got to see it to believe it. The big picture in sports. Onside kick attempted, and the Colts recover. Monroe did a nice job covering it up. We've got a timeout, 9:29 left to go.
How about something with a pool?
A hunting lodge. Kids will love that. How about something with a pool?
Lots of photos. Another way Expedia helps you find the hotel that's right for you.
Expedia.com. I love Scary Movie 3. Women on TV. A party that's jumping. And twins. I love friends who stay in touch. Screaming way too much. A white boy who's rapping. And twins. And I love them too.
Check out the Coors Light Twins in Scary Movie 3.
David meets Goliath as the gritty twins face the storied New York Yankees. Then the surprising Marlins have a date with Barry Bonds and the mighty Giants. The division series is on Tuesday at 1 and 4 on ESPN.
Peyton Manning has worked quite enough tonight, thank you. He will be on the sidelines as Brock Heward will come on for the rest of the fourth quarter. Sets a franchise record with 6 touchdown passes. Mungro taken down at 42.
Peyton Manning has put on a clinic throwing the football. 7 completions to the left, 4, 5, 1. Seems like everywhere he threw the football, he had an opportunity for a touchdown. Many of them coming off of play action, spreading the field. And that's really an indication of Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, calling the game to give Peyton a chance to throw the ball in particular places. I would guess, I'm just guessing, but his passer rating will be 158.3 at the end of tonight's game, which is as high as it can get. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be.
Mungro fumbles the ball.
And, of course, gets it back.
It has gone that way for the Colts tonight. He will not obviously have the opportunity to get that NFL record and join this list. Sid Luckman, the first to do it all the way back in 1943. Then you have Adrian Burke, George Blanda, Y.A. Tittle, and Joe Kapp. There's some couple guys on the list you might not expect.
Joe Kapp being one of them.
Yeah.
Also, one thing to remember, all those guys called their own plays. And they took advantage of the opportunity that was presented.
That one's incomplete. And, of course, Joe Kapp is in the record book for the most end-over-end touchdown passes.
I'll tell you what, if Peyton Manning would have called all of his own plays tonight, he would have had 12.
12. You're right.
I'll tell you right now, this guy, not only is he a great player, but he's one hell of a person. He really is. I mean, he is one of the nicer guys. Right. Boy, you could sit and talk to him for hours. And his entire family is that way.
And he absolutely loves every element of the game of football. He loves practice. He loves the mental part, preparing. He loves trying to draw defenses off sides. He loves throwing the football. He loves communicating to the guys on the field.
Hunter Smith with only his second punt of the entire night. Dante Stallworth, fair catch at the 9, a 35-yard kick and no return. Peyton Manning, brilliant tonight, sets a franchise record for the Colts, 6 touchdown strikes.
Tonight on SportsCenter, can the Lakers shelter Kobe? A conversation with Coach Phil Jackson. Randy Moss out to prove he's the best receiver in the NFL. And Chris Berman's top 10 plays of the week. SportsCenter after the game.
Hi, this is Chris Fowler. Follow the nation's best college football teams as they strive for gridiron glory with the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package. ESPN Game Plan will feature more than 100 games from the country's top conferences. And if you sign up, you could win an autographed football from Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, or yours truly. To order ESPN Game Plan on Dish Network season ticket, call 1-800-333-DISH.
Are you ready for some fantasy football right on your TV? Make your picks using Dish Home Interactive TV on Channel 100. You call the shots in this easy-to-play pick-'em style game. Tackle college or pro football or both for just $9.99 each for the entire season. Check the national standings weekly. Win great prizes including a complete Dish Network HD TV satellite system. Even scrimmage with your buddies in a private league. Check it out right now by tuning to Channel 100. It's fantasy sports on Dish Home Interactive TV.
Well, this is what you can do with silverware, I guess.
That's how you,
when the food runs out.
That's how you clean it.
Yeah.
You talk about great rhythm.
We've been in places where I think they did clean it that way. Ernie Conwell with another catch, lost the ball.
And they did not blow the whistle either. This is a fumble.
And he may have gotten it back. That ball got 5 yards away from Ernie Conwell, and it was bounced and went right back to him. And Jim Haslett has just got to wonder, all right, what else? What's left?
If I were them, I'd put that play in. They got a first down on it.
Ernie Conwell was one of the guys Jim Haslett brought in here to give some experience to this ball club and some age as it got on down through the year. Going to need it in a hurry.
Excellent receiver, good blocker. Bauman has that one tipped. May have been Brad Scioli. Got a hand up.
You know, you talk about this defense and how good they are. Just watch these guys perform. This is the second play of the game. There's an interception. Then Washington with the hit and the fumble. And here's another interception by Nelson. Now another fumble that Freeney picks up and scores on a touchdown. So they said we need to take the ball away 3 times.
We should have saved some.
No. They're that good now.
Draw play. Doesn't get much up to around the 24-yard line.
And you do notice a difference in this defense.
Don't you?
We've done Colt games for a long time, and for a long time, they were a soft defense. They're tired of being called a soft defense. They're an aggressive style up front. John Turlink, their defensive line coach, maybe doesn't have the big 300-pounders up front like, say, Tampa does with all that speed in a Warren Sapp, but they've got a lot of quickness. They do a lot of twists and turns. They brought in Monte Rieger, got him from Denver, and he was a second-round pick out there in '99 for him, and he's playing that 3-technique tackle, the one that penetrates.
Bauman flushed. Chase from behind. That one is tipped and nearly intercepted. What a play by Nick Harper. He knew he couldn't catch it, but leaped up and batted the ball in the air to keep it alive. And what hustle by Freeney, who was chasing Bauman from behind. Well, I mean, you're up 55-21, and he's still busting it on every play.
Well, they're showing you why they believe so much in this defense and where you have to go. Look at Freeney. I mean, he is after Bauman. He gets to his feet. He's the guy that causes that throw.
Walters to kick, or Walters back to receive the punt at the 34. Oh, holy cow. What a shot by Kevin Hauser. Jeez.
Hauser's the snapper. He's the guy that's usually uncovered in the first one down on coverage.
Ooh.
That time he was.
The only guy on the field that's smiling. Look, he wants to see it again. Show me that again.
Well, Troy Walters isn't smiling.
Ooh.
Oh, guys on teams live for that.
Mike McCarthy, the offensive coordinator, spending some time with Todd Bauman. No matter what Bauman does, Aaron Brooks lines up next week quarterback for this football team.
Absolutely.
He is their quarterback of the future. And I think it's grown through the year.
Mungro, the deep man in the eye, and he'll get the carry. Let's go to Susie. What do you have, Susie?
Well, I would say that Peyton Manning's homecoming has been an unmitigated success. I don't think when he was playing his ball here in high school, he ever thought he'd have 6 touchdowns in one pro game. But for Peyton, it's always been about mechanics since he was a kid. And he credits his dad, Archie Manning, because he wasn't always the fastest or the biggest, but he worked hard on that 5-step drop, on the play-action fakes, and he never stopped working on them. And he says he keeps his edge by watching as much of himself on film now as he does of the opponent. In practice, a camera is on Peyton so he can study to see if he's tapping the ball or taking an extra step, anything that's telegraphing what he's doing.
Susie,
Peyton always working on those mechanics.
Susie, what was amazing watching that film of him in high school at Isidore Newman here in New Orleans, he got to play in the Dome 4 times. He looked like he does now. He runs exactly the same
play
way.
action faking.
Exactly.
I mean, he's always been that way.
How much do you think he learned from his father?
So much.
You bet.
So much. And he had to learn how to be tough from Archie, because Archie didn't have a lot of talent around him here in New Orleans.
I think you learn the mental part of the game, the toughness part of it, the techniques from your dad. And we've seen, of course, Brian Greasy and Bob Greasy and Jack and Jeff Kemp, the other father and son trios, and of course waiting for the growth of a Chris Sims and a Phil Sims. So you have 4 father and son combinations that played in this league. And I think when you talk to each one of those guys, they'll tell you that they picked up something from their father that has made them better from a preparation standpoint.
I think one of the things that Archie learned, away from just the football, is how to handle himself as a pro. That he learned from his father and his mother. I mean, he admits to that. But my father taught me, how to handle myself. I know how to play football. I learned how to do that. but how to be the person that you are away from the game. And this guy, what he did with the tickets,
yeah, it was great. I'll tell you something else too. I think from a coaching standpoint, I think Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, has got really somebody who is, and I say this in an affectionate way, he's high maintenance. And the thing is, he demands so much and wants to be challenged so much that Tom has to constantly find things. I talked to Mark Trestman, the offensive coordinator of the Oakland Raiders. Rich Gannon, the same way. You have to constantly challenge these guys, because if you just put everything in for the other 10 players, it's sometimes not enough for them.
Is that a great poster, like father, like son? You know, what a great family this is.
There's Cooper Manning,
who was an outstanding receiver before he was injured. And, of course, Eli is at Ole Miss.
He will be in the pros.
Yes, he
will.
will.
Eli can throw it.
He only had 409 yards last night for Ole Miss.
Yeah, but the other guy had, what, 600?
661 from Texas Tech. 2 quarterbacks, 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards passing last night. Here comes the next one.
Senior at Mississippi, the all-time Ole Miss record holder, nearly 8,000 yards passing, 62 touchdown passes in his career. Archie held the record with 56. He has 7 300-yard passing games. That's a school record. Archie had 6. And, of course, Peyton, second in the Heisman Trophy race when he played at Tennessee.
Of all 3 of them,
no, he was third.
Eli, Peyton,
third,
and
Archie was third.
All right.
No, Peyton was second.
Yeah, I was.
Between Eli, Archie, and Peyton, the best one of all is going to be Eli.
I think Eli.
Oh, I tell you what, if he
boss.
exceeds Peyton Manning, he's going to be doing something. Archie, of course, made the Pro Bowl twice on really bad football teams here in New Orleans. They were bad forever. Peyton, the most touchdown passes in the National Football League since 1998. And we just told you that Eli has that Ole Miss record.
I think the other thing about Eli is he's a young guy who was willing to go to Ole Miss and be his father's son there.
Happy Jack wasn't told, but he was a fan. Stop Jack on the water's lapping, and they couldn't prevent Jack from being happy.
Going my way.
You know it.
Looking to put more miles in your tank? All Shell gasolines are now specially formulated to give you better mileage, helping to take you farther.
Cop, they set me up, framed for murder.
Now I'm going to send a couple of agents down there.
Sorry, I can't hear you. You're breaking up. You hear me now?
A race to find the truth.
I need Prince ASAP.
Chief, you okay? Just do it!
Out of Time. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, October 3rd.
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear. Call 877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
Sports Center is coming up next. Linda Cohn and Stuart Scott standing by. We'll take a look at Jackson's plan to protect Kobe Bryant from NFL dream to NFL nightmare. And is Moss the NFL's best receiver? You get a lot of votes for that one. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
You might get some votes for Marvin Harrison, too.
Yeah, you might. Dominique Rhodes, making sure he stays in bounds, or one thing.
One other thing about Peyton, we've talked about all the superlatives and what he's done tonight, but the one thing that hangs out there is he's never been able to win a game in the playoffs, and it's always the big one that sort of eluded him. I think this year he has a team around him that can help him get rid of that.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? I mean, you go into the playoffs with defenses the way they have had. He knows he's got to score 35 points in a game in order to win against a good team in the playoffs, and that's so tough. Fourth quarterback in NFL history to throw 6 touchdown passes and not have an interception. You could do an hour special on records that Peyton Manning has already racked up in the NFL. Then you could do another hour on Marvin Harrison and at least 45 minutes on Edgerrin James.
One other thing, too, guys, I want to talk about. Think of the job Bill Polian has done at building this football team. Here's a guy who went out and said, okay, I need a quarterback, I need a running back, I need a wide receiver, and we'll fill in the pieces. He's done that. Then he said, all right, I got to have a coach come in to help me with the defensive side of the ball. Remember, Tony Dungy's only been there 2 years.
Right.
And you think of the job that he has done.
Of course, we asked you about our Sunday stud poll, and Gus Frerotte, the winner, and deservedly playing for the injured Dante Culpepper. He had a big, big day. Dante Hall, who had just been a brilliant kick returner for Kansas City, finished second. Steve McNair was third in that 5-man poll. You mentioned Bill Polian as this game is over. Bill Polian, we talked about coaches who go from team to team and you know they're going to succeed. Bill Polian, whether it's the CFL, the Buffalo Bills, the Carolina Panthers are here, you know he's going to succeed. The guy knows how to put a team together. Our final score here in the Dome, the Colts 55, the Saints 21. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Culber, and the hardest working crew in television, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from the Superdome in New Orleans. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.